Hello? What's wrong with the television? Hi, Scott. Hi, Rob. What's going on? How y'all are and stuff. It's me. It's just me. You know, me. It's me. Hey, Tracy. How are you? Thanks for coming in. What's new and exciting? It's Friday, finally. And stuff. Friday and stuff. Anyway, Jim's YouTube is on crack for some reason. Daryl, you know what, Daryl? Go to your corner. We're going to start this already? Scott's already in his corner. Go to your corner, Daryl. No. No working after... Oh, wait, it's only 4:30 there. You have a half an hour. Actually, you know what? I'm giving you permission. You can stop working now. Really? What? God. Go to the corner and like it. Oh, there we go. The TV works now. Ain't that some stuff? Jim's TV's on crack. Did you clear your history? Oh. It's an internet thing. I don't think it's a cache thing. Corners are closed. Someone made a god almighty mess in one of the... I think that was either Madonna or Sue, Rob. It could have been Daryl. It's very possible. What's up, Fatima? Fatima migrated over from Facebook. Daryl's like, erase the porn, Jim.
There was a guy today on YouTube that has a channel that talks about it, and he told how you can get the porn channels.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I hope not. I'm gonna beat your butt. Anyway, how's everybody's Friday? Now you're boofering. Am I boofering? I don't think I'm boofering.
No, you're not boofering on the phone. It's just...
Rob ruined his good paintbrushes. Well, that's what you get for trying to put makeup on with them, Rob.
That's not what that pole is.
Rob, what is that poll that you put up, that video? What exactly is that? Fatima was cleaning chickens in the corner. That's where the mess came from. There you go. The mystery has been solved. Mystery has been solved. Some sort of peace poll. Oh, okay. It didn't have a sign or anything explaining what it was. What's up, Scott? How's Amazon Arona today? You're a mess. You are a mess. Why does your phone look like it got wet underneath the screen protector? Can you see what I see? Why, hey, what's up, Dan? How are you? Hope things are well. We only put the signs up after we take down the object. Pretending to be ill? No, he wasn't. Whatever it was, Rob went away. He took a shot of NyQuil and it was gone. So he's good. Yes, Daryl, it's your fault. You over there in Canada land. It's all your fault. Canada land. His phone got wet because he had too much moisture. Because this is the best time of year. Cold in the morning, warm in the afternoon. Canada land. Yes. How are things with you, Dan? I just saw you put a video out. I have to watch that later. Yeah, Canada land. You heard me. Canada land. What's new, Dan? Hope that the new job is going well for you so far. Canada da da da. Yeah, you just gotta peel it apart. Is it on the phone or is it on the screen protector? Oh, okay. So it's an exciting, peeps. How are things? Talk to me. Tell me stuff. You got a place to live down in Maryland nearby your job, so it should be good by January. Oh, awesome. Sweet. Now, is that with the motorhome or an actual house? Because I know you said you might have to do the motorhome thing for a while. Fatima Reddit is Candyland. What are you?
I'm trying to make sure Peter's trying.
I don't know what he's doing over there. I don't know. Don't know nothing. I know nothing. His wife was like, go live with my sister for 2 months. Yeah, just shoot me. I'm doing the motorhome thing for January, February. Oh, okay. Awesome. Okie dokie, Smokey. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. No one's like, yeah, I'm not going to go live with your sister. That's okay. It's all good. So I guess Rob is working and Daryl is, quote, working. Quote, quote,
That's
quote. Doing Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. Bringing the turkey tonight. Brining the turkey tonight. Why are you doing it tomorrow? Dan will score a mini Blackstone grill for $55. Oh, do tell, Dan. How did you manage to do that? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, you're not working, Rob. Wow. Would you like to come visit, Rob? He's a little early, Dan, only by a week. Not too long. Only time we can wrangle all the kids and family together. Oh, okay. Wrangle. Kathleen Klein would use a lasso for that. wrangling the chillins. This is not spam. This is not spam. Walmart has a special, very small unit on the center aisle. Oh. Was it a 17, Dan? The 17-inch top? Why why did you do that?
I was to test the keyboard.
Oh, okay.
I retried
Oh, I was like, what is he doing? It's all spam. You want to come hang out, Dan? Rob? Anyone? Jim's in the corner now. All right, Dan, here you go. This is. Let's do this. Dan, Rob, if you guys want to come up, Daryl. He wanted to make sure all the keys worked. The magic link is there. You're gonna poop up in a few, Rob? Really? Rob's gonna poop.
Just tell him to make sure he's
Just
Chrome.
yeah, make sure you use the air freshener too. He's gonna poop up in a few. Happy pooping. I guess so, Fatima. I mean, that's what it seems like.
Wait, I hear. Whoa!
Wow!
Hey!
What's up?
Oh, there's so many Zooms and so many ways to go. WebEx and Microsoft Teams and blah blah blah. Uh,
Blah blah.
uh, Goodness gracious! I need to wait. I need to just pull some more of my. There we go.
You're gonna put some Lucas.
I gotta put some Lucas in there and make sure I'm running right. Because apparently I didn't do it on my last oil change, and I had a whole quart of this, and I had the wrong. Apparently, I had a whole lot of fuel injector cleaner,
Oh,
for my oil change. Well, whatever. But I
what
got it. I'm good.
for the motorhome?
Yeah, for the motorhome. I
Yeah,
even I had it all ready to go, and it was on the same table apparently. And it was a fuel injector cleaner, enhancer, or whatever.
yeah.
And I've got a carburetor. So I'm like,
Ha!
why do I even have it? And I have like this whole thing of, heavy duty oil stabilizer.
Stabilizer. You put that.
And for some inexplicable reason, this was not on hand to pour into the engine. But whatever.
What? That goes in your oil fill.
Yeah. But hey, come January, I'm not gonna worry about it. So yeah, I got my new job, and it's down in Maryland, and it's kind of a neighbor to you, Maryland, New Jersey.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Not that far. And so I found a campground that will give me some discounts, major discounts, because I'm a municipal employee.
Oh, nice.
and more than 50%, almost 60%. And so, yeah, I can live down there. I can live the life of Riley. Woohoo!
And
And
they're gonna be open that early?
they're going to be, yeah. The crazy thing is that in it's the secret thing. Like they say in January they're closed, but they're not closed. To people that know what's going on. So apparently there's RV pull-through sites that are available from the beginning of January all the way through the new year. But if you don't know it and you don't have connections, you don't know that they're there. So
Now,
it's gonna be interesting when I pull in there. I'm at site 55. I can't drive 55, but I can park 55. And I'm gonna see what I'm gonna get a video of like, hey, I'm like right across the campsite from the camp store and
oh, okay.
everything.
That's
And
convenient.
yeah, I'm gonna see what's going on. Apparently, it's full hookups.
Oh,
Maybe they might be completely frozen in January. I don't know. It's
you're gonna have
like
to get yourself a heated water hose for like
maybe
$145.
they said that if it's below freezing, you need to disconnect. But I'm somewhat autonomous with my RV, so I'm okay. I'm not too worried about it. I've got a heater. I just turned it on again tonight just to see if it's going to work,
Mm.
and was running the generator and everything. So just so I don't have any issues. But I'm a guy. I can rough it. I got a sleeping bag. I can. Woo, I'm gonna go there and boil ramen noodles on the cook stove or whatever.
Rob
You
says that
know.
at the way prices are going, a new engine will be cheaper than an oil change.
Yeah, well, no joke, dude. That's crazy. Some of the stuff that's going on. Like, I look at it, I tell you, when I'm traveling and my wife, my better half is like, whoa, why is it's so expensive to travel with the RV? And I'm thinking, do you know how much it costs to rent a hotel room for like six people? Which, we have six people, you know, two of us and four kids. And and you're going from night to night. And I could stay at a truck stop, run the generator, even if it's $4 a gallon for gas, it's still cheaper for us to do that than it is to stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
And okay, I get it. It's, no, it's convenient, whatever. But for me, it's like the autonomy is there's a price to that. I've got kids that we're driving down the road, and they're like, I hate to say it, but a couple of my kids are hitting the bathroom like 10, 11 times during a trip during the day. And I'm thinking, if I had to stop every time they had to go, that's another $10. you know and it's like whatever.
Oh yeah,
So
Fatima. I saw that, Fatima. They were digging for him at the end of October. I just read the article today.
yeah, yeah. So
Ro-
I look at that and I think to myself, as long as we're still staying efficient, we're good.
yeah,
you know um
Rob's at nearly $9 a gallon.
yeah, it's
Daryl's at almost
it's
67 a gallon.
crazy. Like, what the heck? Who wait a minute, who's at $9 a gallon?
Rob,
Really?
if you do the math, I
Wow.
mean, him and Daryl pay by the liter,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
they're doing the
Yeah, yeah,
American,
yeah.
you know.
Does if he pays for that petrol, can he go into orbit? You know what I mean? Like, he can go across the ocean with $9 a gallon. That's
Better be
crazy.
jet fuel or something.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's got 104 octane. Holy cow, that's crazy.
They were digging under the Pulaski Skyway at the end of October at the one of the landfills. Yeah.
Yikes! But I haven't figured out yet, like, what the dollar amount would be for me to say I have to park my camper and it's not worth it anymore
Yeah.
because for me, it's not one of those Class A's that have like the $1,000 tires. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's a Class C. It's a P30 Chevy P30 heavy duty chassis. So it's the tires are about $200 a piece. Maybe nowadays $230 a piece. But they're not $1,000 a piece. You know what I mean? It's not a diesel. It's a gasser. So if you know how to fix a gasser, you're okay. When you get into diesel stuff, that gets crazy when you have to fix stuff, especially if it's like a turbo. It's like, oh, it's crazy. Like RV underway, I feel really bad for RV underway. Like they're telling us like, well, this well our new blah blah blah. I'm thinking, holy cow!
Yeah, they
You
have a.
get a
I think they have
minor
a.
leak in your thing, and you're into like $1,700 to like not stop from being stationary.
Yeah, I think they have a diesel
Crazy.
pusher, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Me, it's like it's a 454, the 4 barrel. It's
Yeah, but
not
it passes everything
complicated.
but a gas station.
Well, yes, that's true. I get that. But you know what? I'd rather do that than some other crap, where it's like, well, what's it going to take to fix it? Well, how much you got? No. I don't want to go there. Mine is simple. I had the whole struggle with 9/16 bolts in the plugs for the air system, you
Right.
know, with some goop and shove them in there to keep them from blowing out. Other than that,
Rob's paying 240 a liter, depending on
two
where you're
forty
at.
a liter, Rob. Good lord, 240 a liter.
Yeah.
Woo! That's 960 a gallon.
Hey, Madonna.
Imperial. Maybe not an imperial gallon. The imperial gallon would be It would be $10 or what? 10 quid. Wait, is it nine? Wait, is it 260? I don't know anymore. Now, see, this is what I mean. He said 260 a liter. Is that quid?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's his
well,
price. Yeah.
well, he's
Well,
screwed. You
that's
might, you
that's.
might as, you might as well be, driving a Spitfire at that point.
Hey, hey, Cookie.
Wow,
Daryl's paying 173 a liter.
wow, quid, quid. Whew.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, dude. You really have to think about what it is you're doing when you're traveling, when you're paying that much money, and you say to yourself, "What am I getting for it?" That's really scary, you know. Like if I was paying $12 a gallon to drive around in my clunker, my Allegro, I would think twice about it. I'm like, well, dude, I'm going to buy a piece of property and I'm going to park that bastard, you know, on 2 or 3 acres and go, it's a cabin.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And jack it up, save the tires, call it a day. At, $12 a gallon. But
Rob
for
says
wow,
AV gas is only 60 cents a liter.
right?
Avgas? Oh, aviation fuel? Is that
Yes,
what?
yeah. I'm putting AV gas in my Allegro.
There you go.
I'm done.
It'll grow wings and you'll be on your way.
No, no. Look, I've got a turn and bank indicator on my dashboard. You know that, don't you?
You have to turn the what on?
I have a turn and bank indicator on my dashboard. You know that, don't you?
No.
Yeah, I put it in as a joke. I have it like literally it's a functional turn and bank indicator on my dashboard
Oh wow.
with an airplane with a horizon. I figured screw it. If I got I had to pay that much for if I have to pay that much for avgas, I'm gonna put some instruments on it. Maybe I put a Loran C or something in there and instead of GPS and I'm good.
He said you'll reach all the power bands in every gear in about 3 seconds.
You know, I looked at one of those what was it? The one of those and I forget what they call them. It's a gear shifters thing. It doubles your gears and it's a big thing. I forget what the heck they call it. And it's basically a thing you add onto the back of your transmission. It's supposed to like double the gears you can shift in. And it
Oh,
adds
okay.
20% to your efficiency. And I'm thinking, okay, not for what you're charging me for, $2,600 to put it in, just for the unit. And I'm thinking, no,
No, thank you.
I'm thinking I could redo my rear end on my RV you know what? I tell you, the good thing is that my Allegro, somebody when they bought it, it had I don't know if you're familiar with rear end gear ratios on, trucks and whatever, but the standard rear end differential was 488, 4 point, whatever,
Mhm.
488. Because they were assuming you were towing some vehicle or something behind you or whatever.
Right.
Whoever purchased this from the company decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put in a 410, which saved me a bunch of gas because the engine RPMs are much lower at the
Right.
highway speeds. And I thought, man, I would love to like drop in like a 376 or something like that and really get it where if I'm going to go to the out west or whatever, it'd be awesome because it would hum at like 2100 RPM,
Yeah, we just cruise
like
along.
at a highway. So I'm still debating that. But for right now, it still runs at 3000 RPM at like 65 to 68 miles per hour,
Wow.
which is which is awesome for a big clunker aluminum
Can
boat that I've got.
rectangle.
Yeah, yeah. And if I'm down south and it's not hilly, I'll get 10 to 11 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
I kid you not. I
with a
kid you not.
tailwind.
That sucker, well, right. If I had tailwind, it'd be even better. It'd be like, yeah. Let me put sails on it. But I've averaged like 9 to 10 miles of the gallon.
That's what I
Um,
was getting when we were pulling the camper.
right, and you got a fairly new truck,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I've
look
got
how
an
big the
old,
camper
I've got a
was.
mid '80s, RV that's an entire house, and I'm pulling that
Yeah.
at that point. So that's not too shabby, I got to say.
I mean, look
But
how big.
what I need is I need like in Spaceballs, I need hyperjets. I need like the wings with the pods on the side, and go off like ludicrous speed, and shoot off.
So they now have solar awnings.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what the heck are those? So are those like the shingles that roll up or
I
whatever?
guess I guess they're flexible panels that are
Yeah, they're flexible, all right.
roll up into the awning.
I'm
But
I'm always dubious of those because you know what? Solar always has to work with like how much sun is hitting it.
yeah,
So the awning that was on my RV is like this, unless it's the sun's hitting it like this, if it's hitting it like this or it's way in the afternoon when I'm finally camping, I don't care how many solar panels I would have on an awning or my roof. They're not going to do jack because they're like 20% efficiency at that point. The panels here and the sun's here,
you
and then
forever be moving your awning in and out.
yeah, and it's just like what? So it's like one of those. I hate to say it. I feel like an old man. It's a gimmick. And this is one of those gimmicks where they say it's a solar, awning, and it gets like 10% of
It's still
Really
super
could.
expensive too, but
Yeah, yeah. I still think we should all go for a Mr. Fusion. I think that's what we should go for.
a Mr. Fusion.
Yeah, we could put banana peels in it and all that crap, and just like, hey, Marty, it's your kids. And just it's like a Cuisinart. You get like 2.2 gigawatts, not gigawatts,
Gigawatts.
gigawatts, and you're good. And you know, you got power for like the next 6 months.
6 months. I mean, I do have to admit, Dan, when we got to your house, I mean, your motorhome is really not in that bad. It's really decent looking, believe it or not.
Decent. It's decent.
Yeah,
Yeah, the realtors wouldn't say it has potential,
potential.
but it's decent. It's okay. It's passable.
I mean, for something that's
It
20.
better be passable when I go down to where I got to work and I pull into this campground. They're like, "What the hell have you pulled in here?" I'm like, "I've been here for like a month, and now you tell me I can't be here."
I mean, considering that it's what 25 years old,
No, it's 36 years old.
36 years old. I'm sorry, I can't do math. My bad.
It's okay. It's all right.
Dan,
I think the 1990s are only 10 years ago. So
have you finished the painting? I expected more whippings of the paint crew. Hey, Naj.
well, the paint crew, the particular folks we had on the paint crew, by the time they got done doing what they were doing, the paint that they had done at the first part of their job had already started peeling. So we had to let them
Jeez.
go. When you pay people by the hour, and I've warned my better half on this, being in the profession, I'm like, when you pay people by the hour, human nature is they don't have any incentive to move it along.
Yeah.
If you pay them a flat price, hey, I'm going to pay you $2,000 to get this done. They're like, woo! The faster they go, they go. But when they're being paid by the hour and every week they get paid, they're like, yeah, whatever. Things happen.
I get paid by
Okay.
the hour.
Ugh. You're killing me. So, I felt like a charity for the last 3 weeks, but we got a better contractor right now. So
That's good.
thank goodness. Understand. But I got to tell you, I got my wood stove in
Oh,
my
nice.
workshop, and I'm like throwing like logs in. I feel like a primitive bushman. I'm like throwing logs in it, and it's like, yeah, fire, fire, and it's warming up the entire garage. I feel good, and but I feel bad because I'm gonna leave it here because come next year
Yeah.
it's not gonna be mine. I'm gonna sell it off, but I got to tell you, you'll see some videos of me in January. I'm gonna try to not be too crazy with um, what do they call it? Like Survivor type videos, where like I'm in the campground and there's no heat or whatever. I got a new job. I'm heading off. I'm gonna use the RV as a semi
Office.
full time living thing, which should be kind of cool. I am going to go back home on weekends, which my wife was like, "Why would you do that for?" And I got to tell you, at first, my first impression was like, "Wait a minute, you don't want me coming back home on weekends? What are you doing?" Yeah, because I'm thinking, okay.
What are you
But
telling me?
we'll see. It's paid for weekends. The RV will stay there at the campground on the weekends. But it'll be interesting just to check it out.
Yeah.
Just to see how things are going to work. And I want to, obviously, I want to have like a barbecue grill. I like to cook stuff. Things like that. And I don't want to eat like hot pockets every day in the microwave. you know, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to. So it's the challenge of like, what am I going to eat that's not like crap that I'm going to like, it's 5 billion, carbs, and I'm going to, do what I got to do because I got to keep my girlish figure. Oh.
Well, you got this far. I mean, you
Oh,
know.
there's Jim. I hear Jim with the coughing in the background. Thank you. Thank you so
Day,
much.
day 16 at the campground. The isolation has caused Dan to fashion a group of friends out of the pine cones and discarded Pepsi cans.
And I've already like chucked off, one squirrel twice already. Son of a sea sailor. That little, oh, I can't believe that guy. And you know what? I've had people like, yeah, if you capture a squirrel that's been digging into your house and you gotta relocate him 20 miles away. I'm like, you're full of baloney, man. I'm gonna distract them going around the lake and blah blah blah. Like this, the car, squirrels can't drive cars, so what the heck? So I drove them around, and sure enough, that bastard came back. After
You
like
sure it's the same one, though?
no, it is. It is the same one because he had spray paint on his back. He couldn't. He couldn't. I know. You laugh, but like I spray painted his tail yellow. Right. I had like bright, like OSHA yellow, and one of my clients was like, "You got to spray paint them to make sure you know who they are." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." So I spray painted his tail, but a bunch of it sprayed behind his head, on his
Mhm.
back. Apparently, he groomed his tail like they do. I guess they do. They groom their tail. Blah blah blah. So they got most of the paint. Whatever, the squirrel got most of the paint off his tail, but he couldn't get the stuff off the back from right behind his head because he couldn't
Hey,
reach it.
Bruce.
And I'm like, oh, well, there we go. So I sprayed it red. I sent him off in another direction, and I haven't seen him yet. I've got two traps on my roof waiting for him with peanut butter.
Make
And
note: two freaking electric heaters, TV, fridge, and video game and lights is way too much for a 110 cord. I
oh
would
yeah,
say so.
yeah,
I
especially
would
the
say so.
jacuzzi. Yes.
I'm not even going to ask, but I think I know where he's talking about.
I,
Dan's putting racing stripes on animals now, Rob says.
you betcha I am. Yep. I got to make them easily identifiable when they return.
I may have not been nice about it. Yeah.
And you know what?
What
The sad
the
thing,
heck are
the
you
sad,
doing?
the sad thing is two of my younger kids were like, I wouldn't have been that nice, like and they said like one of them said, "Can the squirrel swim?" I'm like, "Oh, don't go there. Don't go
Can the squirrel swim?
there." Put the cage in the water.
He's probably living in that tree that they cut down in by
Oh,
your backyard there.
probably. There's a whole school of them back there waiting for replacement. Hey, yeah.
That's funny.
I'm gonna cut the rest of you think that, but I'm gonna take a chainsaw. I got one. I'm gonna cut the rest of that tree down because I need the walnut because that's perfect like
Yeah.
wood stove wood.
I'm
Walnut?
surprised you were. I'm surprised you haven't done
Woo!
that yet.
Well, I
That's
did
a
a little bit.
that's a big tree.
A little bit. Some smaller branches I cut them up and put them in and oh,
Oh, okay.
I gotta tell you, it smells great. All that walnut
Yeah.
smells awesome. Yep. And it's keeping my workshop at about 65 degrees,
Oh, nice.
despite what the weather is. And there's only wall insulation, not ceiling insulation, just the roof framing.
Yeah,
And
that's fine, Bruce. No problem.
okay,
There's the link to Hillbilly's wedding there, Naj.
that's right.
Bruce just put it in the chat.
Mmm. Wow. So how close is New Jersey to Maryland? To the DC
Four,
area, I will
four,
say.
4 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
So like DC to like west of the DC area?
Yeah. Well, Jersey to DC is like what, 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours.
Okay, it's not bad. That's not bad.
Oh no, that's Bruce. You don't have to ask. Just it's fine. It's fine.
It's about 5.5 to get to my house from where my sister-in-law is outside of DC.
Oh, okay. A fail-safe way to get rid of squirrels is to bring in a couple of pairs of falcons.
Well, yeah, you say so.
Great. Now Sonia is taking my wrench and hitting me with a wet noodle. Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
Hmm.
But you can click on that link that I sent you and you can come say hi to Dan. That would be nice. You know.
I'm lonely. As long as it's not Lance.
I don't have plans for the Falcons though.
Yeah. We you know what? We had in our town, um, for years we had a ton of pigeons
Okay, no problem.
downtown. Like the pigeon, I mean, the pigeons were all over the place. I mean, I'm talking, they would leave their signature cards everywhere. And then um, two families of ospreys showed up.
Oh wow.
Not falcons, but ospreys.
Right.
And within like 3 months, the pigeons were gone.
I bet they
They
were.
were gone.
I blame it on my stupidity and pissing off my wife again. Oh jeez.
Well, as long as you blame it on that, you're probably pretty accurate. I'm just saying.
So he put himself in the corner is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Bruce is in
Yeah.
the corner right now.
Yeah. Bruce is in the corner.
Or the
Bruce is
doghouse.
in
Oh
the
wait.
Bruce is in the basement. Wait, he's
Wait.
usually.
Ted doesn't have a doghouse. Oh, never mind.
Uh,
Oh man. So what else? You got a lot going on you got a lot on your plate now.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to wind down my architecture practice, and because I don't want to take on new jobs because I'm moving,
All right.
and I've got this new job out of state, which is it's not an architect's job. It's a planning, whatever municipal job.
Yeah.
It's somewhat related, but I don't want to get rid of my license. Don't get me wrong. But at the same token, I don't want to I'm going to take on new jobs and blah blah blah. It's that balancing act you do.
I'm
So
saying she hasn't talked to me in 2 hours. What did
well,
you do? Yes, Sue, I started early.
yeah,
The soon to be relocated Dan. Oh, I know what he did. Never mind. Why am I asking him
yeah,
that dumb question? I know what he did.
that's right. I'm leaving town, and I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah, so Jersey to just outside of DC is only like 4 hours. It's not that bad.
yeah,
I mean, Jersey to Bruce's house is 6 hours, not even 5 3/4. Not quite 6 hours.
right, right. When I told my better half how much it was for the campground, she goes, "Why can't you live with my sister?" And I'm like, I will quit this job if you tell me I need to live with your sister. No, not gonna happen.
Uh,
Not
uh,
gonna happen.
sorry, not sorry.
Uh, yeah, just no.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. If they came with medication, I might do it, but it doesn't. So no. I mean, I like her. She's great, but I'm an adult. I'm an adult. She's an adult. She's got kids. She's got a husband. I don't need to move in as an adult into her basement. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Sorry.
So, do you know the general area where you're going to be looking for a house?
Yeah, it's sort of the Fredericksburg, Rockville, Montgomery County, sort of, the really cheap area.
Right. Yeah.
See, I might as well move into like the Maryland seashore over on the other side of the DC loop. It's cheaper. It's cheaper there, to be honest with you.
Oh, I have a friend of mine that lives on the. She lives in Baltimore, but not Baltimore proper. She lives on the
Yeah,
outskirts.
Baltimore is. I've been to Baltimore. I lived in Baltimore for a brief time, and
She lives in the
and
nicer part, the outskirts, the nicer part of
yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah, the outskirts. Yeah, the outskirts are the nicer part.
Yeah.
You get to South Street and some other spots, to be like, yeah, well, that's real cheap. Yeah, well, there's a reason why. Yeah. Mhm.
Now, Dan, you saw how many people were involved in buying a camper. You better expect the same with house hunting.
But I think I might actually make out with my camper. If I sold my camper, I think I would make a good deal on it. I'm saying.
I took them. I took that. I pretty much stole that camper from that
You
place.
know what? Yeah. I got to tell you, and I stole my camper. My wife stole the camper that we have now, the Allegro. Everything works on it. If I went to sell it today, I bet you we'd sell for triple what we bought it for.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. And she's like, "Oh, but you put a lot into it labor-wise." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
And
But
the funny thing is I what was it? 3 weeks ago, I think it was. I went on the dealer's website to see how much they were selling my old camper for.
yeah,
The one that you saw. $30,000.
no joke. And you're like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said, what? Bruce was like, holy cow.
un
$30,000.
unreal,
Yeah.
unreal. So yeah, yeah.
Rob will need to see the plumbing in each house. Dan, do you want to buy a gently used tow behind?
uh, no.
He's like, thanks, no.
No.
Now you're gonna tow a car down with you, right?
Yeah, well, I'll take the Allegro with me, and I will. I may attempt to do a tow behind with my Volkswagen
Okay.
Passat. Let's see what happens. I don't know. It's one of those cars that, like, if it dropped off the tow thing dolly and rolled off into a ditch, I probably wouldn't care. So it's not like some other cars where I had to be like, oh no, I'm gonna whatever. It's gone. And
Questions are not allowed.
yeah,
You
exactly.
just have to take it off of Bruce's lawn. That's all.
Yeah, let's just. It's one of those, if it makes it down and it still starts, I'm good. Otherwise, yeah, whatever. So yeah, but they will allow me at least two cars on the campsite,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's good. So at least if I have one that's working, should be good. Yay! And getting to work, it's just down 355, which is the main drag. There's 270, um, I-270, and 355, which is Rockville Pike.
Oh, okay.
I'm up. I'm kind of like up away from DC.
Good.
I'll be driving towards DC. It is what it is. But yeah,
So how long of a commute is it from the campground to where you have to go to work?
it's about 45 minutes.
5 days. Woo woo! Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No,
Yay!
no, they said I can do at least 3 days of telecommuting, but I'm a supervisor, so I can't really do that. So I
Oh,
have to like show up for
yeah.
pretty much every day, but I can go back home every weekend, which I probably will do. It's not that bad. 5-hour drive for the weekend. You go home at Friday evening, come back Sunday evening. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
Unless the kids piss me off, then I'm just gonna stay there.
Let's see. I never actually looked to see how far you were from
Right.
here to your
Right.
house.
If you look from where you are in Jersey to
Yeah.
where I am,
Let's see.
it's probably about 6 hours.
No, because 6 hours I'd be at Bruce's house.
Really?
Yeah. Not even five and a little over 5.5. Not quite 6. Chicka.
Chicka chicka.
Chicka chicka. Go. Go. G G G G. I can't spell.
Yeah, 'cause I
4.5. A little over 4.5.
all right, so it's not bad. 4.5,
Yeah.
5 hours.
Sounds like a new
Yeah.
series of drive streams for Dan.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not horrible. If you were going to do over a weekend and you're going to go Friday night and come back Sunday night, that's not horrible.
Yeah, it's at 267 miles.
Yeah, yeah.
Dan's new channel. Check it out. Dan the Weekend Drive Stream Man.
I may do that thanks to you. Go through Harrisburg. We're going to go through Harrisburg. Up 15, 11 and 15. Not with the RV though. Screw that. I'll leave the RV there and I'll take the car up. I don't want to go through that. That's going through Pennsylvania with the RV, like that. Sometimes I thought about like I'm going to just drive through Ohio versus go through Pennsylvania and all that crap and Virginia. With the
That was the roughest part of the trip, was going through the Allegheny Mountains and going like this.
Crazy. I mean, I'm just gonna drive around that crap. If it takes me longer, I don't care. 4, 5, 6 hours, I don't care. But I'm not doing like.
That's where we had the worst gas mileage, and we hit our highest elevation.
Yeah.
Like I was making like 9 miles to the gallon.
You were doing pretty good then.
And I think when we looked at the report on the GPS, our highest elevation was like what, almost 2,600 feet.
Went to the moon. It was at the moon. Over to the moon. Where you're in geosynchronous orbit. Yeah, I looked at stuff and I'm like, I rigged up the kickdown switch for the transmission wasn't working.
Right.
On the RV, so I have this crazy rubber coated switch on the dashboard. Like if you're like climbing a hill and things like, you know, and you can push it and it goes up and shuts the gear. And I'm like laying on that bastard.
Go further.
This is not helping the gas mileage, Jenny. You know, I was like, okay, so we need to like find alternate routes to get south. The biggest thing is when you go south on the eastern seaboard from where I am in New York, and you go through the Allegheny Mountains or Appalachians, and it kills you. It's like you can go the interstate like 81, whatever, and that's fine. Whatever.
Well, we took 87 all the way home.
Right. But still,
and
there's
it
like
was
10% grades. They're like, I'm sorry, but we just avoided our own rules for building this road, and it's a 12% upgrade. It's like, okay, thank you.
And then there were parts where there was like no cell service, and Jim's like,
God's country.
Jim's like, oh look, there's phones on the side of the road, and then there was a sign that was like limited cell service. So we're like, oh great. It was
there's telegraph station. Like, hello.
Dan,
but you go up and they warn you of like the grade, like with trucks, trucks maybe, whatever, blah blah blah. Oh, Rod, are you serious? And you just
Dan, my friend
going up and they all have their blinking lights on, and you're like, you're in an old junky RV like me, and I'm blowing by these guys and they're in tractor trailers doing like 32.
Dan, my friend put an old school starter floor switch in his old truck, like an engine brake switch in reverse.
Yeah. But mine says kick down. It's on the dashboard, so you have to like work for it to get to it. Push it. It's not one of those high beam switches on the floor,
Yeah.
And because there is one on the gas pedal, but for some inexplicable reason, no matter how hard you push the gas pedal, you can't get the stinking thing to switch. So I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm
Hey,
done.
Lisa, how are you?
Haley.
Fatima says we used to call Class A's Klingon vessels.
Yeah, mine's like a Klingon. Yeah, yeah, the Klingon. All right,
Yeah,
but
we were, and that like limited cell service was for I forget how many miles it was, but
yeah.
I mean, what did it say? 5 miles or yeah, 5 miles it was. Yeah,
What I'd like to do this next year is, other than camping out in Maryland, is head west. We've never really we've always tried to go west, like the Grand Canyon, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, Dakotas, and we've never done it. And I'd really like to do it before we get rid of this RV. We may dump it in the Grand Canyon. Hey kids, and just dump it there. But whatever. But at least we made it there. But in the meantime, we've always gone down the East Coast. It's never been, we've always talked about the big road trip, to go
right.
out west and to Yellowstone and blah blah blah. And that's the thing I'd love to do. That's really the goal, um, that I'm kind of shooting for. If and take time off of work, whatever. But the kids are getting older. I've got two kids that are definitely older. The two of the younger kids, I think, the older kids would still really enjoy it.
Yeah,
But they
it's
would,
one of those once in a lifetime trips.
yeah, it's one of those, you want to do it because it's the big road trip kind of thing.
Right.
And my wife is freaking out because every time we go on one of these road trips, like the last one we traveled 3,000 miles, 3,000
Mm.
between Florida and Cape Cod and back. And we had some mechanical issues. Don't get me wrong, we had some mechanical issues. And she's like, "We always breaking down," and I'm thinking, "We drove like pretty much across the country, and you're complaining because there was some from a 30 some odd year old RV, and you're complaining because some minor crap didn't work
Yeah.
100%. You didn't turn the key and it didn't go boom and we're gone. Like, no, sorry, that's part of life. And
Yeah,
to me,
the
that's what it is with an older RV.
the camper's winterized, Lisa. It's that
Yeah,
time of year.
it's winterized, all right.
We got to use it one night and then we had to winterize it.
Well,
But
mine's
yeah,
winterized. I disconnect the water pump and dumped a bunch of that red antifreeze crap down the pipes.
yeah, that's what we had. We used 2 gallons.
Yeah,
Just dropped it in all. I put one
yeah,
gallon in the freshwater tank,
yeah.
and then the
My
rest
my
of it I
my
put.
hot water heater like swelled up, but didn't like blow up, so it still works.
Right.
But I'm kind of like I might have to check it. See how it goes.
I mean, that trip that we took, all that was 2,200 miles.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
amazing. Yeah, it's a crazy how much you can rack up the miles. And but like I said, I double checked the odometer. Like, is there something wrong with this thing? I'm like, it was 2,800 miles, and I spent 71 hours in my butt in the driver's seat.
let's say I spent what was it 11
Whew.
the first 11 hours the first day
Right, right.
from Jersey to Ohio, and then from
Yep,
Ohio to Michigan was another 7, so that's
yep. So
18,
18,
and then from Michigan to you was another 11, so
30,
that's 29, 29,
29, almost 30.
and
Right.
and then from you to Vermont
3,
was 8. Yeah, so 30,
37.
37
Whee!
hours behind the wheel.
Whee!
Yeah.
you know, people don't realize that. They're like, how many hours you spend behind the wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
So, and I had great, but hey, look, did you have like drunk female drivers that were doing like 360s around a roundabout in Cape Cod and all the others.
Well, we didn't go anywhere near Cape Cod. We
No,
weren't in Massachusetts. We went
I
from
know.
you to Vermont, and then we went, back home. So
Some of the stuff we went through, I got to tell you, was surreal. And I think that's what made up for all the hours behind the wheel. Is like you watch people like blow by you doing 70 and they're drunk, and they hit a roundabout and they're like, and they're like, I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, well, there you go. I'm thinking, oh, and then we wind up at the wrong campground.
how do you
We
do
thought
that?
we had reservation. I don't know if you remember that. Well, we hit the campground. I was in my head. I had it obsessed in my head. We were going to hit this campground that was in Cape Cod, and we were like, okay, it's this campground. And so I pulled in. We had the GPS coordinates, and apparently we couldn't get the reservations for this campground. We could only get one for the one that was way up north.
Oh my god!
So we parked in. We mooch docked for the night. And the next morning, the staff was like, "Whoa, we'll check for your reservations and blah blah blah." And meanwhile, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Wait a minute, uh, we don't have reservations here." So I like, get in, kids. Start the RV. We drove off and got the hell out of there as fast as we could. It's like, let's get out of here, kids. So like,
Grr,
you don't
melted
have a campground.
melted my damn 40 amp plug together. What is going on up
Yeah,
there?
well,
What
when you
what are
do
you
that with a
doing?
15 amp outlet, you're going to do that. I'm just saying.
Shh.
It's all those people with the 15 amp, 30 amp adapters that plug
That's
them
I
in,
hate using those things. I would never
and
use
they
those.
melt into like a homogeneous, nasty, crappy, goopy thing that comes out.
Oh, your 30 amp outlet. You said 40.
Yeah, 30, 40. He can. Yeah.
Happy anniversary, Lisa. Yeah, he's got a 30 amp to 110 adapter. They just
30.
burn
Wait a
it. They
minute.
just
30,
melt
30 amp
away.
to 110. What?
I have one. I mean, it's in the. You've never seen a 30 amp to 110 adapter?
No, come on. 30 amp to what? 50 amp?
No, 30 amp to 110.
But 110 is
It's a plug like this
it's
big.
the same 110. It's either 30 amp or 50 amp or 20 amp or 15 amp.
It's a little.
Amps, I know it's amps and voltage is two different things.
Yeah, I know, but it's 30 amp to 110.
Right. It's the ubiquitous. It's a 15 amp outlet, and they're trying to jack it to 30 amps with one of those little rubber
Right.
adapters.
Well, when I got to the
And they wind up
campground,
frying. They wind up getting melted because they're sucking so much current off of them.
he's got a 110 volt and a 30 amp breaker in his at his house. I could have plugged into his house if I wanted to. That wouldn't have been a big deal.
I got a 30. I did that whole video on it. I got that 30 amp out my fridge.
When we got to the campground in Vermont, the 30 amp 30 amp outlet was marked off with electrical tape.
Yep.
So we had to plug into the 50 amp, but I didn't have a dog bone.
Oh, you didn't have the.
So
adapter
he
for
had to
that.
bring one up. Yeah. Now and then we wound up buying a dog bone. So we just plugged, into the 50 amp and it was fine. But
Yeah. Yep. I loved it. I like it now. Right now, I have I replaced the converter, like it's a relay switch in the RV between the generator. When you run your generator to get electrical power, and then when you plug into the shore power, there's a box that.
hey,
switches between-
Starman.
Hey, Starman. Anyway, it switches between the two. Well, apparently my less than 1-year-old converter box broke, and now I have a plastic spoon. I've shoved it in there to yeah.
Wow.
I put a spoon in there because apparently it won't switch from the generator to shore power. So when I would need to do that, I just shove a spoon in it, and it flips
Here, I
off.
can fix this.
Yeah, there you go. My wife's like, she's looking at me like halfway between, I don't want to use this RV anymore, And two, well, I'm kind of impressed how you can fix that. And like, maybe something will explode if I do what I'm doing. But whatever.
Work.
What are you gonna do? What are you
Work.
gonna do?
Work.
Yeah.
I know he's
Work,
having a
work, work.
fit right about now.
Work, work, work.
Work, work, work,
Work,
work,
work,
work.
work, 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 work. Yep. When you own an old RV, there's all sorts of little quirky things you gotta do to it.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, right? I went down 7 feet and 7.5 feet in size with this camper that I got, the new one. And now I can fit like 5 cars on my site.
I
It's
feel bad because when you came to my place, I'm like, I'm like, hey, we can maneuver it in the front yard and
I
I'm like,
turned it around in your front yard.
geez Louise, we need a helicopter to like lift this thing up and move it. But you did. To
Yeah,
your credit, you maneuvered it. So God bless you. Yeah, I, I a lesser person would have been like, screw this crap, I'm selling it, and I'm done, and just scrap it in the yard. Or ran over the neighbor's fence and said, screw it, you know, it's whatever. But you did. You got in there.
I,
And I got to tell you, you had a lot of patience for Jim because Jim was like, hey, you
your other
left.
left. Your other
You left.
left.
Yeah, right.
Your
He's
other
like,
left.
he's like,
Your
go this way. No, wait, go this way. Go this way. Go this way. I'm like, what are you doing? This way. I'm like, jeez, go this way. I'm like, okay. So much for spatial, abilities.
he was like, he's like, I keep messing up. Your other left. Don't listen to me. Just follow the trailer. Don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I know you're John. Bruce is
The axle rotation of the axial, something or other of the camper, and whatever. Okay.
it's
Alrighty then.
Bruce
That's
is
why I'm
done
glad
done
I have a
done.
Class A because with campers, I got to tell you, the campers, it's an entire art with campers because with Class A's, if you don't have something you're towing, it's a vehicle. Okay, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, there's blah blah blah. The thing is six off the end, off the rear axle. But with a camper, it's like you're hinged,
Nah.
and it's like when you're trying to back up with a truck, and the thing starts going off in another direction, and you're just like, whoa, what am I gonna do? With the Class A, it's like, yeah, whatever.
You don't bend in the middle.
As long as I know that stupid bastard is, the rear axle is where it is, I can get it where it needs to go.
Well,
And you can kind
your
of
driveway was like the ultimate test in backing up.
yes, it's the subtle
It's
S.
the
It was like it's not straight. It's like a subtle S.
yeah,
And
yeah.
there's trees, and there's small children and gnomes all over the place on either side of the driveway. So you have to be careful where you're going down the driveway. Yeah. And there's like your diamond encrusted, whatever, park benches on either side, so you can't you got to make sure you don't hit anything. You know, rare
It,
rare tree species, whatever. So,
it was. I mean, once I got the groove going, it was fine. But Jim, after a while, Jim was just like, "Don't listen to me. Just follow the trailer. Just follow the trailer." And I'm like,
because we had the whole parking court, just park it in there somewhere. Just get it in there. You're good. It's all right. It's all right. It's all practice. It's all practice. Love to have you anytime. So we're gonna be there until at least June of this next year.
oh, really?
Before we go, yeah, yeah. So we
All
gotta
right,
wait
Starman.
till Starman.
Yeah, because our next trip is until September again. You'll be gone by then.
There you go. Well, the plan is we'll be gone by the time our number two graduates from high school in June.
Oh, okay.
That's the idea. It's gonna happen, but we'll see. Yeah. Anywho, alrighty.
So that's like I said, you definitely have a lot of stuff you got to work out there.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think we've got a decent contractor that I met with today.
Bruce is moving to Hawaii.
Yeah, you talk about expensive. What are you crazy, Bruce?
Yeah.
Hawaii is crazy expensive unless you've got some kids that live there and you can mooch off them. You got kids that you can mooch off them, Bruce?
Oh, they live with him.
Yes, they can. Come on, Bruce. It is an island, so I mean, quite
You can only
frankly,
go so far.
I lived on Long Island, and quite frankly, that was bad enough of an island. I can't imagine what Hawaii as an island is like for cost of stuff.
Yeah, it's Jim has a cop friend of his that
Yeah,
lives in Hawaii, and it's super expensive because everything's got to be
yeah,
flown in if it's not grown there,
yeah.
or super expensive.
Like a gallon of milk's got to be like $12. You
It's
think
it's
I'm
it's
joking? And you
it's
think I'm
close.
joking, dude, don't you?
It's close, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's not like Magna PI where you could drive around with that Ferrari 308, you know. And Higgins is like, I'll pay for the gas.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah. And if you need to get anywhere else in the islands, you can just take what was the name of the pilot that flew the
Oh,
helicopter?
it
Come
was
on.
initials.
Yeah.
What the heck was his name?
Come
The
on, you
guy,
know that.
the
You know that,
helicopter
Sonia.
pilot on
Come
Magna
on, you
PI.
know it.
AJ? Or no, AJ. No.
No, not AJ.
AJ? Was it AJ?
TC. That's it.
C
TC. Yeah.
TC. Yeah, there you go. TC. Yep. Wow. Whew.
That was rough, wasn't it?
You know what? And Tom Selleck doesn't look any different than what he
He
did.
doesn't. You watch Blue Bloods now, and it's like, did he age?
It's
He got a
scary,
little
dude.
skinnier, but
Well, yeah, he got a little more like
drawn in the face. But
right. That's scary. Yeah. Yeah. All my wife can think of is, Quigley Down Under, when he was his life, you know. So, but yeah. Anyways,
I told my wife I'm buying a camper and it sleeps two only. Uh,
sleeps
yeah,
one, sleeps one.
sleeps one.
Uh,
Oh man.
the funny thing is like if I take this camper down there and I go, and I go, go to live down there,
Right.
I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to sleep. Like, there's the bed in the back, the standard bed. But then there's the jackknife couch. There's the one that drops down above the driver's area, which is
Right.
pretty cool because almost never nobody ever uses it. So the mattress is like awesome. It's like perfectly preserved from 30 some odd years. It's like firm, whatever. But it's a pain, to drop it. And all I can think, and then there's the dinette where you drop the table down and you put all the cushions together and it forms the bed.
Right.
And all I can think of myself is, wow, I now have all these options, and which one am I going to use? Which one's going to be the best?
Well,
But so I should do a survey. Should I use the one in the back, which I normally use, or should I use the one that's above the driver's area that drops down? Should I use the jackknife couch that folds out?
you have so many choices, Dane.
I know. Or should I use the dinette conversion? So should I?
Yeah,
Should
you might
I
have to
do
scrunch up a
both?
bit for that.
Well, it's not. I'm short. I'm
Bruce
only
is like, just get a
5'9".
hammock.
Wait, you're right. There is that one that's like the bunk that's above the back bed that has a thing. My daughter doesn't want to sleep in anymore because it's a piece of crap.
It's a
It's
piece
not.
of
Yeah,
crap.
it's too small now. Whereas in the old classy Tioga, we had one that was perfect. It dropped down over the couch, and it was like a it was cabinets, but like when you dropped it down, it was a perfect depth, and she loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
This one in the Allegro is like there's no room. You can't roll over, and it's storage. It is what it is, which I feel bad. You know, she doesn't like it, so she sleeps in a dinette or whatever.
That's what we use.
But
That's what we used when we had our Class C quite a few years ago. The overhang was just like
yeah,
storage.
yeah, and the overhang in the Class C for the Tioga, my wife loved it. The one above the cab,
Right, right.
because apparently the mattress was firm enough, and it was a 4-inch foam mattress, and she loved it. She just thought it was great. Um, but like I said, it's like anything, it's every
But it was
movable
cold up there.
cost
Like
is different.
the heat didn't
Well,
even get up in there. It was like every
really?
time you wanted to get something out of there, it
How
was
did the
just like
heat not get up there? It rised into the goes
because
into
I mean
the.
there were curtains that went across the
No,
top,
that's true. That's
you
true.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you kept those curtains closed to keep the heat in the motorhome,
yeah.
you reach in, it's like oh,
Right. Woo. Yeah.
yeah.
True.
Like,
True. Yeah. So yeah. So it's funny for each one. It's very individual
yeah.
how they work out. But and even with the campers, but I still miss that Tioga, even though it's gone, long gone. There's stuff about that Tioga. I was like, that's pretty cool the way that was laid out. But there's an old Dodge. What was it? It was a Dodge. What do they call it? It wasn't Craftsman motorhome. It was. I forget what they call it. It was the
A
series.
craftsman.
Craftsman or whatever the heck they called it. Uh, a Huntsman, whatever it was. It had a Dodge 360 in it. It was a van. It was a Dodge van, and it was converted, with a cab over thing. And I forget what the heck they called that stupid thing, Coachman or something.
Well,
But
there is a
that,
coachman.
yeah, that son of a gun would like once the engine was like tuned the way it was supposed to, that son of a gun would take off like a drag racer. Um, but again, the engine was always hot. When you're in the cab, it's like you had those little flip windows um, that you could, little triangular windows that you could flip to
Right.
bring the air in, which is like it was a lifesaver because otherwise you die from the heat in that thing.
Hey, Cindy,
And
how are you?
hey, Cindy.
Fatima, you should check out Van Life Voyages channel.
Yeah.
He's a quadriplegic with a Class B, accessible Class
Really?
B. Oh yeah. So go
Wow.
watch his channel. He's got stuff like that, Fatima.
I
He's
watch
a
this video and I see how pale my hands are, and then I see how red my face is.
yeah, I see that. You're like, oh,
I have no circulation in my hands. Not true.
why are you sitting there all bundled up? Is it cold in there?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't have the heat on in here.
Oh, okay.
It's my garage office. And,
Yeah, I know when you were getting everything ready when we pulled in, I peeked in the window. I was like, "There's the wall of Dan."
I got rid of it though. I got rid of it. I only put this one picture up. I had all my degrees and all this other crap
Yeah.
on the wall, and I'm like, everybody made that comment, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
The wall of Dan.
I'll take it down. I don't want to be too presumptuous of my,
Career.
my academic career or whatever. So exactly. Blue, 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 blue. Yeah.
Dan should be proud of the wall of Dan. That's right.
Well, but not as proud as one of my clients. The guy was a brigadier general,
Mm,
and he had a cannon, like a barrel of a cannon from an A-10, you know, A-10 Warthog, the tank buster
okay.
airplane. So he was an Air Force pilot, and he was a brigadier general. And when he retired, like the squad, like the crew gave him a, like they shouldn't have done it, but they gave him one of the six barrels of the, or 6 or 8 barrels out of the Gatling gun of the last A-10 he flew.
Oh,
So this thing is like 7 or 8 feet long, and it's big. But he had all the pictures. He goes, yeah, this is like the museum of me. It is
Museum
big.
of Me.
But it's like he had a lot more impressive crap in his museum of me than me ever did. He had like bullet rounds that were like this big, you know, with like depleted uranium tips. Like, here you go. That's what got fired out of that barrel. I'm like, okay, well, good for
Thanks.
you. Get the Geiger counter up. So, but yeah. So he was a good. He's a great, very easygoing guy. Very easygoing guy, Mr. General Tuxil.
Fatima
T-Rex.
always liked to read the wall of Dan.
Yeah, I can put it back up if you want. I got.
That cannon is twice the length of 2 Volkswagen Beetles.
No joke, dude. That thing was huge, and he had just one barrel for the whole thing, and I was like, woo. So okay,
Where the heck did he keep that?
he kept that along the wall of his museum of meat.
Oh.
It was like he's like, yeah, this is what. I'm like, geez, it's like 10, 11 feet long. This thing. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's one of the barrels of the cannon, the Vulcan cannon that they had on the A-10. Whew. So that's definitely an airplane that was built around the gun.
I'd say so.
Yeah, it was one of those. He said if you were flying a level flight and you fired it too long, you might drop below stall speed. Because
Fatima's like, I could strap that to my kayak rack on the roof of the camper.
he's like, you'd fire it and like the plane would slow down so much it would stall. like hit the throttle to get it to go to continue flying. I'm like, oh, that's great.
I feel like I'm gonna have a sneezing fit in a minute.
Yeah, come on,
That's
have a
right. That's why I turned the camera off. I was like,
Oh, okay. Sure.
I must have sneezed like 6 times at work the other day.
Uh-oh.
Today, actually, it was like,
You know what I
Jesus.
found out? I was going to bed fairly early, and like my eyes would turn red, and I'd start like my head would get all congested. It turned out it was like those stupid pods, those laundry pods
Mhm.
to
Oh,
wash
really?
everything.
You're allergic to them?
Yeah, because apparently we were actually washing our clothes, and and apparently washing the clothes with the wrong type of soap pods caused an allergic reaction, and I was like, and I was like, I'm like, what is going on? Sure enough, it was like apparently it was the wrong kind of soap. So we switched, and it was okay. But in the meantime, I'm like, am I allergic to the cats now? Like, what the heck is going on?
You can get allergies any time of your life. They come
I
and go.
guess you could, but like we have 3 cats, and I like them. They're okay, and I'm fairly tolerant of them. But like the last like month, I'm like, like the eyes would turn red, and I would get
Cookies make
congested.
everything better.
Cats make everything better.
No,
Yes.
cookies make everything better.
Cookies. Yes, cookies.
He's better now. He found his comfort food.
Oh, he did. Okay, that's good.
As he sits there and
Hello.
and
Yeah,
hugs the box
it
of
turned out it
cookies.
was the stupid soap. It was the soap.
That happened to my dad. He's got sensitive skin, and he was breaking out with like a rash on his hands.
Oh,
So
it's
now,
horrible.
yeah. So now we
I'm
use the.
Why am I like? Why can't I can't even breathe? And meanwhile, it wasn't even like one with like a perfume in it. It was just a different kind of laundry pod. And we got rid of them and switched to another. And I'm like, oh, now I can breathe. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Now my mom buys the all clear. It's no scent and
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Meanwhile, we just have women from certain minorities out in the backyard just banging them on rocks, and we're good. So.
you are horrible.
Good. It's all natural laundry.
God.
Great.
Hey Dan, where do
I'm like
crayons?
I feel like I'm Bill Maher now. I'm out in the woods. Yeah.
Hey Dan, where do crayons vacation?
Where do crayons vacation? I am not. I don't know. Where do crayons vacation?
Colorado.
Oh my goodness.
Dad jokes.
I need to go out west. That's why I need to go out west.
So you can.
Yeah. So this red crayon can, vacation out west. Be good.
He's like, I'll be here all night, but just throw money.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Just throw money.
You know what? I'll tell Jim. I have a superpower, by the way.
And what is your superpower?
My superpower is I can take anything that my kids think is cool, and if I adopt it, I can make it uncool.
Oh.
I'm gonna start with sus, and the whole sus thing. And I did it with a bunch of other stuff, like this whole I don't know what this thing is. They did do this with the OK symbol, but they do it upside down. Whatever that is. I took that and they were like, don't do that anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it in front of their high school and everything. And they got rid of it. They stopped doing it. So that's my superpower. So I'm going to take whatever else is they think is cool and I'm going to adopt it and make it instantly uncool.
Bruce got his kids to stop watching YouTube.
Wow. Are you serious? That's like an Uber superpower. How about Facebook, Bruce? Bruce, could you get him to drop Facebook? The Foos book.
The Book of Faces.
Yeah, the Foos book. The Foos book is the work of the devil. It's like from The Water Boy. Remember, was it, what's her name? Bates, the actress, who played his mother.
No, Dad's a YouTube creator. It's not cool anymore.
Whose book is the work of the devil?
He said, Dad's a YouTube creator. It's not cool anymore.
It's not. No. You have to be a meta creator.
Making things uncool before it was cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I like misadopting crap from my kids and doing it in a way. We're gonna have a whole. I think we're gonna do a whole blog channel or YouTube channel with my son, my number 3 son, and it's called the No Clue Movie Review, and I'm gonna basically be the guy that's the old fart that basically makes everything that is trendy uncool. So.
Oh, that'll probably get a lot of views.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of child abuse. People love that, so it should be good.
Rob's like, oh crap, Sony's on the sugar. Gnarly dude, totally rad.
Yeah. So my son likes, like my number three son likes a lot of horror movies, and I don't get the point of a lot of them, or a lot of reboots or whatever they call the retcon things or whatever. And yeah, I just tear them apart, based on the fact that I'm an old white guy.
You're an old white guy.
That's right. I'm old and I'm in my 50s and I'm going to die soon, so I don't care. And that's pretty much how that goes. And I've got one of these big giant microphones.
Hand me that.
I've got one of these. Look at this. I got one of these giant microphones with the spit things on them. And I can do that, and I'm good. Oh wait, it fell off. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So yeah.
Just unscrew it.
Yeah. Exactly. We're gonna
I
talk
don't
about
get
history, how I feel about history, what I think history is, and all that stuff. Got to educate. See, there's plenty of material, Sonia. There's plenty of material. Hello.
How do you even? How is that a type like? Did you? I don't get the point of horror movies.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said in my review. I'm like, what a Michael Myers, blah blah blah.
No, you didn't see what he you didn't see what he typed.
No.
Look,
what he
turn.
Now I gotta like do the. Let's see what he typed. Okay.
Just
Dan needs to read it. Oh shit! Hold on.
Yeah. I don't get.
Is it Vermont or Rob on the road that is typing?
No, it was Bruce. Scroll up a little bit.
How far up do I need?
Where he says, "I don't get the point."
Yeah, well, neither do I. That's why I made the comments. I don't get the point of horror movies. Well, you know what, Bruce? Thank you. If you don't get the point of horror movies, then quite frankly, you're doing okay. I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh, do not ever come if it. Oh, why am I saying that? Oh, that's terrible. Do not ever arrive on our channel with my son and me when we're doing the No Food movie review. I said, do not come on our channel. That may not be something that we can't help.
I think I need to get out more often.
All right. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Oh, we're gonna have that channel out in the garage next to the wood stove, so it should be interesting.
Oh God.
It's gonna be pretty cold out there. My son wants to build a separate table and have a green screen in the back. And okay.
We're in the middle of trying to downsize and move, and you want me to build stuff. And it was
right, exactly. I'm like, wait a minute. We're moving, and you want me to build crap in the garage? Okay, fine.
You get to take it down when we're leaving, though.
Right, we can burn it. We can burn something. We can burn. We're good. That's right. We can put lighter fluid on it, and it's good. The torches will good.
Jim, I think I'm not going to change.
Right now, we're binge watching Better Call Saul. You know that series?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never watched it though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Was Slippin' Jimmy? Come on.
Nope.
So it's very well written. There was one night I had way too much caffeine and I got involved in the characters too much, and I went to bed going, what's going to happen to these people? I'm like, dude, it's not real. I'm 50 some odd years old, and I had to remind myself it's not real. This is not a real show. This is not real life. Crazy.
I was just told to shave my face or wake up bald and bald.
Really? Wow.
What does bald and bald mean?
Bald. Bald.
Bald and
It's
bald.
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 Because you got to be bald.
Are you talking to me?
BAWLD. Bald.
So here's my latest painting.
That's beautiful.
You didn't even see it yet. Gee.
I saw it because, come on. I can see that picture. It's mountain. Or it's a roll of coal. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dang, there's a lot of blue, blue.
Every time the notification goes off. Is she saying I will be smooth as Arnold in the 80s?
Smooth as Arnold in the 80s. Not sure what that means, but
I really don't think you want to. What out? What did you type?
Find out.
That is not fine. There's no F in there anywhere.
Yikes. Yikes.
That's in there. Stuff burns. Yeah, just a little bit.
It burns.
Oh man. So now you know that, there's horror movies and then there's horror movies.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
Why is she warming up a waxer?
Yeah, what?
Well, that squirrel.
Squirrel. My son and I went to watch the Halloween Kills movie.
Oh, I saw it. I watched it.
Yeah, that was like 2 hours of my life I'd like to get back.
I had this discussion with my supervisor at work about this movie.
It was somewhat gratifying when people were like beating the hell out of the protagonist or whatever you want to call him. But then it's like, oh, okay, But I don't want to do the spoilers thing, but it was kind of like.
Like I said, we had an hour-long discussion about this movie, the Monday after it came out, and there was just so much stuff that I wasn't impressed about, and I'm a big Halloween fan, and I was kind of not impressed with it,
Yeah.
But Bruce is so not Brazilian.
But like they did some flashback stuff pretty old.
Yes.
Like I was like, whoa, is that like real? Like, did they bring the people? Wait, that guy's dead.
Yeah. He's dead.
Like in real life, he's dead.
He's dead.
So they can't bring him back. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, some of the stuff was like, it wasn't anything new. And if anything, it was a rehash of old crap.
I was expecting Jamie Lee Curtis to be doing a little bit more than hanging out in the hospital for an hour and a half.
Yeah, well,
And I was like, really?
They set her up. Look, they set her up pretty bad in the hospital. So.
Yeah, but
she was Wolverine. She should have come out with a, with the knives come out.
Well, she did jab herself with that needle with the painkiller in it, so it didn't seem to work too well. But
yeah. But other than that, it was like, and then her daughter.
Yeah.
Like, really? Okay.
Hey, Travis. Hey, Yanai. How are you?
So apparently the apple does fall very far from the tree.
From the tree, yes. And she had her daughter and her granddaughter there, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
A whole hour in a U.S. hospital. Hope she's got insurance.
And we did have a very decent child actor show up as one of the main adults there.
Wow, Rob just sent Travis to the corner. He. Uh,
All right. Well, I got to step off and I got to go pick up my son from his play group.
his play group.
Yeah, they're playing D&D, which is crazy. Who
Oh,
plays
Dungeons.
D&D anymore?
It's still a really popular game.
I guess apparently when I told him I played it, he was like, "Oh wait, does that mean it's uncool?" Maybe. I'm sure.
Travis, just go in the corner. Just trust me. Just go. Don't ask questions. Just go.
Don't put him in the corner. Bring him up here. All righty.
Well, you have a great night. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. And like I said, it's I've got my change of life coming. It's not hormonal, thank goodness, but it is coming up January, and we'll see how that goes. It's I think my spouse is a little bit like trepidatious. Shall I use that word?
Because Rob has a wrench here, and I
Really?
don't, so he finally has power over me.
Well, better that a wrench than a screwdriver. I'm just saying. Anyway, so but yeah, so we'll I've got another let's see half of November and all of December. Come January, it should be interesting. So that's when I'm being told I have to go to this new job and be in person. So
Oh, okay.
unless COVID screws everything, then I'm not gonna tell my wife that I'm just gonna go down anyways. Yes, honey, I'm gonna have to be in the office for the month of January, whatever. Anyway,
And one
I
more
didn't say
joke.
that.
One more joke for the road. The kangaroo's favorite thing about beer is the hops.
That is a marsupial after my heart. Yes, very hoppy. All righty, I'll keep watching, but I will be on the road to go get my son. So.
All right.
How late are you planning on being here tonight?
Oh, another hour maybe.
No? What is the laugh? Hey, 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 in the background. What's with that?
He's like, I guess I will pocket that joke.
Yes, I will pocket it.
Bruce is going to the corner. Rob just sent Bruce to the corner.
Goodness gracious.
He's not up here, so he couldn't escape the corner.
Correct. But it is good to see you.
Yes, you too.
On this Friday evening, and anytime you want to stop up back into the Finger Lakes region,
Thanks, Dan.
You're very welcome.
We may take that trip before you make your final journey
Yeah,
south.
you should. It's still nice up here. I mean, the leaves just turned. I mean, we still have some great, fall foliage up here. I mean, all the ash trees have dropped dead because of the ash borer, but
Yeah.
everything else is still yellow and red and orange and whatever.
What the heck is...
But we still have wineries. Got to have the ice wine. If you get the ice wine, you're good.
Ice wine?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's when they don't harvest the grapes off the vines and they freeze.
Mm.
And they have this, it basically coalesces the sugars in the grapes. And it creates a very sweet, what they call ice wine.
Oh.
And it's supposed to be a very, very, let's say, very rare wine type ice wine, which is a delicacy.
Oh, excuse me.
But exactly. Yeah. So just get some vodka, you're good. Have a nice day. Put on ice, you're good. But yeah, so there's little things like that they do. I'm sure they do these things because they screw up the harvest and they go, oh, well, it's a special delicacy. Right? Really? Or well, you didn't get it out in time. But in the meantime, yeah. So, yep. Anyways, it'll be very interesting after the New Year's kind of not really being here anymore,
Yeah,
moving
how
to
are
a
you
different
gonna?
region of the
That's a.
country, which will be kind of weird.
I was just gonna say, how you gonna just? I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, well, I hope it'll be all right.
Yeah,
But
don't have much of
then
a
in the same
choice.
token, it's a little bit of an adjustment because it is a different, different. I'm not moving to Texas or anything. Don't get me
No.
wrong or whatever. But it's not where I've been for a while, so it'd be interesting.
Well, you'll get to experience more of those coastal snowstorms that we get
Yes,
every once in a
yes,
while.
exactly. Yes, and hopefully I won't get a case of the crabs. Anyway, if I do, it'll tasty.
Cindy's eating frozen mango. If that's her delicacy. Rob is timed out for
Alrighty,
300. Rob's been timed out by Bruce for 300 seconds or whenever he wants
good.
to come back.
I think he
Good.
deserves it. Jerky.
Turkey. Turkey.
I ain't moving up there. Forget it. Alrighty. All
Have a
right.
good night, Dan.
You too. And Jim, you both of you, have a good evening. And I love talking with you and love spending time with you. And you're good folk.
Thanks, Dan. You guys, you are too. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
Bye. Oh, good old Dan. Dan, Dan, Dan. Just like, get out, Dan. Rob, I thought you were coming up here. You liar. What's up, Travis? What's new and exciting? Oh, Travis is in the corner. That's right. I forgot about that. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Uh-oh. Night, Fatima. Hey, Sue's ex. How are you? Now Bruce has to behave. What'd you do? Is Runny sleeping? When she comes in here is when Runny Egg is sleeping. What's going on? The beautiful half of Runny Egg. Oh man. So let's drop this one more time. See if Rob is going to show his face, or maybe Travis, or whoever wants to show their face. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Now Bruce has to behave himself. Anyway, well, tomorrow I am. No, he's like, no, I don't. Huh? You're smart. Rob, or maybe Travis. I sure felt the love in that one. You're funny. Well, I didn't know. I mean, All right, fine. I'll go hide. Bye. Travis yelled at me.
Oh, stop. This is your live stream.
I know.
He can only yell at you in his live stream.
Oh. Even I'm not that harsh to Travis. Oh my god. So tomorrow is going to be. I'm going to have a live stream at 1 o'clock tomorrow because we are going to play a game. No, he can yell here too. Why are you yelling at me?
The cookies are kicking in.
Apparently, the cookies are definitely kicking in. So we's gonna play a game tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Cindy's going, huh?
Cindy's like, what? She's confused. She's confuzzled. Because you're not listening to me. Oh my god. What am I?
I didn't see.
What did he say? You know that song? No, I don't. Hello, Suzex. No, I don't. No, he can yell here too because he's not listening to me. Wow. Nothing but I just got you to spend 10 minutes looking. Wasn't even 10 seconds. Smartass. We're going to play Dirty Minds, Cindy. Wow, Travis. Wow. It's a clean game, but it sounds dirty. So
It'll only be 30 if you're 30
that's all the time. I'm waiting for Bruce to type. Dream on Wheels has been timed out for 300 seconds.
He doesn't have to type it, he just do
He
it.
can just do it. Yeah, I know. Not even me. I don't listen to me either.
Cindy will set more.
Ooh. Travis was like, no. Can you get it out of the closet, please? It's up on the shelf in the closet. Yeah. That's because you were staring at the television relentlessly.
What was that? No,
I can do that, but I'm not Rob. I would be forced to go up on the panel, then to be heard. I put the link in there, but you didn't click on it. Vermont Ping has had his keyboard and mouse privileges revoked for 300 seconds. Uh-oh. Dirty Minds. The world's cleanest dirty game. That's what we're going to play tomorrow. Mm-mm-mm. I didn't even open it yet.
it's radically sealed.
Who's hermetic? I want to know who this hermetically person is.
He lives on Funkin' Wagner's front porch.
What are you talking about? Oh my god, I can't with him. That was no Rob. That's what Rob typed. You wee head. Read the screen, you wee head. Oh, wee head. He thinks I said that, and Rob actually typed it. You're getting me in trouble, Rob. Jeez. Getting me in trouble. I can get in trouble on my own with him. Hey, Robin, how are you? Okay, I have to open the package now. Oop. I'm going to get yelled at for opening the package of my teeth now. Watch. Bruce has had his ding privileges revoked for 300 seconds. He comes under Bruce Anderson. The evil twin has shown his face. We're good, Robin. We're just causing mass chaos and destruction as usual. It's a thing. It happens. Mass chaos and destruction. Yeah, I have two more. Yeah, that's true. All right, so we're going to play Dirty Minds tomorrow. Who else besides Bruce has played Dirty Minds? And then there was Travis. What up?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's a Friday night.
It is a Friday night. And
there's live streams galore.
Well, you know. Are you hopping around?
I was pulling a Kenny a moment ago. I had like 4 live streams going.
Oh, jeez. And how many were you actually in? I mean, like, you know, you could be.
Oh, like, I was in all of them, but I was only actually listening to 3 of them.
How do you do that?
It drives you and I crazy because I have the audio from every last one of them on, and I can pull it out.
That's crazy.
That's what happens when you got a chaotic mind. It can do that stuff.
Oh, Rob has a night off of work and a lot of soda. Oh,
that explains his mischief.
You know what? He doesn't need the soda to cause mischief. He just needs to rear his face somewhere, and then the chaos begins.
Or have a wrench, and then he just goes really crazy.
Oh yeah, you should have saw. What was it? Monday night. I did my live stream Monday night. He was putting people in the corner left and right. It was funny.
I saw.
Every time they came in, it was, "Hey, how you doing? So and so, go to your corner." And they were like, "What? I just got here."
Yeah.
So now you have a blue goatee. What is the purpose of blue? I know pink was last month, but what was blue?
So the blue this month is because of diabetes awareness, and also because the month of November, a lot of folks do the Movember, the men's health awareness, which primarily is also prostate cancer awareness, and for both of those, it's blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gonna do like red and green for Christmas?
No. No. No.
Candy cane, red and white, maybe?
No. That just would not work out so well.
Yeah, you can try. Oh, man. You're just having TV issues. So what else is going on in your life? Anything exciting?
Exciting? Yeah. Packing, downsizing, pulling things out of places, and then you start stacking them to pack them, and then you look at them and you go, "Oh God, I don't want to deal with that." Dude, I'm panicking just from watching you deal with your stuff.
Oh, so you're actually home right now?
Yeah, we're home right now.
Okay.
And packing the stuff to get the heck out of here. Beginning of the year.
Oh, okay.
Because when we head for Quartzsite, we're out. We're full time then.
What state do you like? What state is your house in? Where do you live?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you realize you don't realize how much stuff you actually had until you're looking to get rid of it all, or you're like, "Oh, how long have I had this? I don't remember having this."
Yeah, like I'm not even done going through all of my clothes, and I've already have a full 55-gallon bag full of clothes. from me
Right.
to go donate out. But it's nuts. And
Wow.
it's, it's like, because we're going full time. So it's like, okay, so the first thing is to get it down to the really important stuff. And then once we got it down to whatever is the really important stuff, then it's okay, so what do we have to have in the rig? And then the rest will just be put up into storage.
Yeah.
There's some of those sentimental things you just can't let go of, at least for a while.
That's like I have 3 drawers of T-shirts, and I think I wear not even half of them.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I was like going through and I'm like, okay, so as far as figuring out what shorts I'm going to take on the RV, what jeans and everything, I was like, that was easy. Pretty much everything I reduced down to as far as all those went is exactly what's going to go on the RV. I said, my problem is going to be my shirts because I have so many T-shirts. Oops. I could probably, I don't know, babe. I could probably, easily go a month and never wear the same T-shirt. Easy.
Sue, Dirty Minds. We're playing Dirty Minds tomorrow, Sue.
Oh, boy. Dirty. That's just dirty.
It's the cleanest dirty game you ever played. Supposedly, what the box says.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
All that jazz. Turn old shirts into cushion covers and blankets, Rob says.
No, because then they still got to go in the RV. Converting them to another item doesn't get them in the RV. I need them not to be going.
You just have to go through all of the T-shirts and just go. Don't even overthink it. Just go. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh yeah,
yes,
well yeah, that's why. That's what the first round of me going. The first time I went through everything was like. I told her, I said, on my pants is really, if it doesn't 100% fit, it's out. I'm not even gonna think about it. I was like, she's like, what? I said, I'm literally gonna try everything on, and if it's even questionable on the fit, I'm getting rid of it now. I said, I don't care if my goal and plan is to shrink down to it. It's out the door now.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be in the house, so there is no, we'll just put it away over here, and then when I lose the weight, it's there available. No, it's out the door now.
Right.
And then the shirts was basically, a lot of them was the same way, or ones were like, nope, I really don't care about it. Nope, I don't care about it. Nope, not important anymore. There was a bunch that at one time were important or sentimental that aren't anymore. It's like, gone.
You work remotely, right? So do you have to keep like any dress shirts or polo shirts or anything like that for work?
I don't have to for work, but because I am trying to find other work instead of what I do now, I am keeping some, I am going to have some things presentable.
Right.
Other than just, white T-shirts and sweatpants.
Bruce wants to know if you roll them up or if you fold them regular.
Well, for going in the RV, they will actually, because I have a closet that I'll be able to use. So my shirts will all be, well, I'm not going to say all my shirts.
If you roll them up, you'll make more room. You can store.
Yeah, there's a bunch that'll be rolled, and then some that will actually be hanging. My ones that I'll wear more often will be hanging in my closet.
You're printing a release of liability.
Because that's like my plan is to probably have 2 weeks or so's worth of clothes, and then I'll probably have a week's worth that's actually what's hanging, and then the other will be rolled up. Same thing with my pants and shorts. I'll be rolling them up too.
Yeah. And then you got to keep a couple of hoodies or whatever. And
yeah, that's part of what's going to stink with our journey is we're going to be going all across the country this next year in all sorts of weather. So it's not just we're going out for the summer. We only need to take hot items and a hoodie or a pair of sweatpants just for that one chilly night that you have every once in a while.
Right.
No. We got to be prepared. Sucks.
Yeah, because you never know what you're going to run into.
Dry weather, wet weather.
Yep.
No fun. But tons of fun.
So how long were you actually planning on before you started doing this?
Well, when we took off this summer, it was this is going to be our 3 month journey. We're going to see how things go. At that point, I didn't feel like she was going to be wanting to do full time yet. Figured she was probably in her head originally before we hit the road was, oh, we probably won't go full time until the kids are out of school.
Mhm.
And then just a couple days into it, and she's like, okay, I want to do this all the time.
It was quick.
Yeah.
You can get
So
those
then it
vacuum-
became well, crap. Now we got to figure out what we're doing with everything else.
That's where all the planning comes into play,
Yeah.
And the vacuum storage bags work too.
Heck yeah. Oh,
'Cause they get-
yeah.
They'll go nice.
Those helped a lot. We were using several of those as well this summer already. And then for the most part, they always worked good. We had a couple of them that ended up failing, but that seems to happen with all of them. You'll have a couple out of every pack that just they'll hold the vacuum for the first couple times you use it. And then after that, they suddenly don't want to hold it anymore.
Mm.
But I think for the most part, those things they design them to be vacuumed up and then not touched for like months.
Yeah.
They're
Not
made
constantly
for
opened and
frequent
closed.
use.
Right. Doesn't even remember Gilligan's Island. If nobody remembers Gilligan's
Who
Island.
doesn't? Yeah, I'm old enough to remember Gilligan's Island reruns. Like I guess technically that would have been, for me, that would have been the second round on the reruns, I guess. By that point.
Don't
Been through
put
a few
pizza
rounds.
in. Bob's like, don't put pizza in vacuum bags.
But why not?
3-hour tour in 10 years. Yeah. The longest 3-hour tour ever.
Yeah. Cookie fell asleep. Yeah. Why am
Gee,
I
I
not
wonder
surprised,
why.
old man?
Yeah. Speaking of cookies, I wonder why.
Oh my gosh.
Bree's got the in-laws for the next 3 weeks, so we're not going to see her face around either.
Right?
She texted me yesterday. She's like, in-law day number 1. I was like, 20 to go. Today she was like, in-law day number 2, smack my head. I'm
Oh.
like, oh.
Poor Bree. Gotta deal with the in-laws.
Mm. It
Be
seems
all
like,
right.
yeah. Well, the last 2 times they were only there for 2 weeks. This time it's 3 weeks.
She could always just jump in and drag the trailer and run away.
It's not that easy. I don't guess not.
Just don't forget the door.
Yeah, oh my god. At the door. That was like, what?
I don't think. Between that and the mustard, I don't think she'll ever live them down.
Nope. I told her, I said, because when she comes home, I had this discussion with her on the phone one night. She says when I come home, she just like kind of like parks the trailer and deals with it like whenever, So I said, well, the next time you deal with the camper, make sure the door is in the camper so you know where it is all the time.
I don't understand how you take the door out and don't put it back in. It shouldn't it be stored with the camper? So it's
that's what
in
I
the
thought.
camper.
Vermont said,
I mean,
he will not come back because that mean Rob timed him out. We'll just time Rob out so Vermont can come back. Yeah, you would think that he would like, keep it. That's
Vermont
what I would do.
Vermont can just go play with his chickens. He'll be okay. He's not alone.
I would just keep the door in the camper where it belongs. But yeah.
I mean, that's where they're designed to be. They don't sell you campers with the intention of, oh yeah, and when you're home, you store this over in your garage. No. It goes inside of it because not everybody's vehicle that they're towing the trailer with could hold the door too.
But if did you look at how that thing is set up? How it pops up in the back? Like, you can't keep the door on it when you're
No, not
traveling.
on it, but you lay it in the. It's supposed to be like laid in the floor
Yeah,
inside of it when you close it down.
because it folds down to like half the size, so it's like,
Oh yeah. Tell you what, if we didn't have the kids, man, we could just put that little sucker behind the Expedition and we'd be good.
How do I explain about chicken playing? Mm. He's your evil twin, Bruce. You have to figure it out.
If you have to explain it, then, well, sometimes you just don't want to and shouldn't.
Flicking chickens.
Chicken here, chicken there.
Chicken wing, chicken wing.
I wonder if I can get that to kick in. Surprised you didn't finish it, babe.
What?
Huh? You said chicken wing, chicken wing. You just stopped at chicken wing.
Chicken wing and baby shark.
Oh, God.
The funny thing, Bree has mustard shirt from a Halloween costume. The past where she dressed the dogs up as hot dogs. Oh, jeez. She
Oh,
mentioned
wow.
that. She mentioned that in somebody's live last night that she had a mustard shirt.
I missed that statement.
I don't know what's wrong with your television.
You broke it. That's what's wrong. You broke it.
I think he did broke it. He's rebooted his router twice. Downloaded an update to the TV now.
So the smart TV is no longer smart?
It's pretty dumb. The past couple of days it's been pretty dumb.
It got one of those kind of GEDs, huh?
Yeah. Well, the YouTube, like, you press on a video to watch something, and it'll take like 5 minutes to load. You'll sit there looking at a black screen for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden the video comes on.
Wow, so it's like trying to buffer the whole video before it ever plays it.
Yeah. Sonia, is it okay to hook? Oh, Sonia, is it okay to hook Ted's leash up to the camper and toss a burger down the driveway? Why would just kick the chocks, Bruce? Just kick the chocks. Just warn your neighbor across the street first. Just kick the chocks.
Oh my gosh.
Cindy says her Celtics are winning. She watches basketball.
That one.
No, because you don't want Ted near their dogs. So just kick the chocks and warn the neighbors across the street.
Nah, you don't warn the neighbors. You just do it. It's more entertainment that way.
It's I don't think he has an issue with the neighbors across the street, but that's what I would do. That's what he just did, Cookie. He did a software update on the TV that it needed. We asked him to get insurance for the winter, and he whined to Carolyn about it costing too much. The insurance is cheap. My insurance went down when I bought the new camper.
Really?
Yeah, it went from 42 and change a month to 35 and change a month. It's something stupid. He should have insurance on that thing all year round anyway, especially if he's keeping it at the campground.
Oh.
Wine to.
Helps if I do that.
Oh, you're tropical.
I'm going to the beach. Apparently, it doesn't like this angle though. Oh well.
Yeah, I know
It's a volcanic beach.
Actually, I thought it was an 87, so it's 36 years old. So the insurance should be dirt cheap on that thing. If he can find an insurance company to cover it, because a lot of them won't cover anything older than 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is what we do. Make this disappear. Let's see if it does it. Come on. There.
Oh,
there
it's 93. Okay. He thought it's not. Yeah, but still, I mean, good luck trying to find insurance first of all, and if he does, it'll be dirt cheap anyway. What is on? His goatee. At first, I looked. It looked like an apple. I'm like, why is there an apple on Travis's chin? And I realized what it was. Hey,
let me close the hole. Let me close the hole in my face.
Hey, Inca, how are you? Travis has a hole in his face.
Better than a hole in my head.
Yeah. Can you go like this, and does the hand go all the way through?
Ooh, let's find out. Let's see if I can touch the beach. I'm touching the beach. Yay! Or,
Nah, cut through the bottom. It didn't work.
it's not long enough to do it right.
So you gotta get like all your. Oh, there you go.
There it goes. There it goes.
Oh. Mm-mm-mm.
Now I have a void. That one has a void on it.
You're having too much fun. Just took a break from social media and working on the bus. Oh, awesome. How is the bus coming along? I say, who the heck did we have insurance with on the motorhome? Now you're gonna make me think.
Don't think too hard.
You just checked Progressive, $120 a year. Yeah, it's like $10 a month. I think he can afford that.
What happened to your beard?
I can't remember.
Did I freeze it? I think I broke it.
You're having entirely way too much fun.
Yep, I broke it.
You did break it. Travis is frozen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can afford that.
Apparently, I'm only frozen on YouTube. Oh, there it goes.
You're back. You have fixed yourself.
I was good on the melon side. It was just the YouTube side that didn't like it.
Trying to break YouTube?
Yes.
It's like, see.
That's his life goal. To break the tube.
To break the tube. I'll spot him the first 3 months just to make sure he doesn't cause any more problems. Not only is he a dumbass, but he's cheap too.
Wow.
Like I said, just kick the chocks.
That's one way to do it.
You might need Ted to give that initial pull, depending on how far back he is. But after that, bye bye.
Oops.
Tell him to
Oopsie.
hitch up and take the damn thing to Texas. That's what I would do.
Wait. No. Don't be sending nobody else here.
Wow, I
At
printed
least not
out
until after we leave here.
printed out a legal document for him to sign. No sign, no stay. Whoop whoop. Well, he's got. That's good. Yeah, I just have this funny feeling that it could be okay, we're leaving now and we're not coming back for the camper ever. Ever.
Oops.
That's what he said. I know a good scrap guy. That thing would be gone so fast.
Funny thing is, it's weird. Like, there's a lot of those scrap guys that are grabbing those old campers, and then they're not actually scrapping them. They're hauling off to their field or whatever, and then they leave them sitting in their field for the next 10 years,
Yeah.
thinking they're going to sell parts off of it. And in the long run, by the time they waited to that point, they would have made more money as a whole if they just would have scrapped it right away.
Mm-hmm.
We got a bunch of those around here, guys that do that, and it's you go in their, drive by their field, and there's 10, 30, 40-year-old campers that are just absolutely falling apart at every last seam there is, and they don't haul them off for scrap. They just
let them sit there to rot. Yeah. I checked the
I
tires.
don't get it.
One patch and one needed a plug. Mm-mm-mm.
Leaving days 2 days after left, kind of.
Yes, about the others. He's already scoping it out.
Wow. Make it go bye-bye.
That's it.
Maybe it's like a barn. Yeah, when they just leave them there and just let them all fall apart to pieces, it is pretty bad.
Inca's bus is going good. Got chairs, bolts, and screws off the floor. Chair lift is out. Remove wiring not needed. Replace some needed items. Reposition ignition. Sealed holes. Working on the floor. Insulation and subfloor. Damn, she's been busy.
That's a big list.
I can fit VW in it if I cut the back off. You saw my camper. You saw how big my camper was, right?
Yeah.
That's how big this thing is. Sitting in there. Yeah. So it's.
Well, yeah. Cut off the back, put a bug in it, and drive right on through it.
I think he just wants to put an explosive inside of it. I think that's what he really wants to do. I needed a new storage unit. He would have more fun blowing it up, though.
I'm thinking about 4 or 5 gallons of gas on the road.
Needed
4 or 5 gallons of gas on a road flare, Jim says.
Shoot, what do you even need that much gas for? Those suckers are matchstick boxes. That's all it is. You just need a drop of gas.
And the rest will just go.
Just long enough to make sure that flame gets hot enough off that match, and the rest will take care of itself.
I'm so glad it's Friday. This was the longest week in history. Today felt
Really?
like the longest Friday ever. Cindy's
The
like, why
longest
can't
week in history.
the longest Friday ever in the history of Fridays?
So today magically had more hours in it than any other Friday.
It seemed that way. At least the hours that I spent at work, anyway. Cindy just wants LeBron to retire.
The same reason every other one doesn't retire. They get paid too much.
What are you doing now?
Making some
Hot
hot chocolate.
chocolate,
Ooh, I'll take a mug.
right? Anybody wants hot chocolate, just tell Jim and he'll make it. Long week here to call my husband's been hunting past few days. Of course, now I gotta cook. But tonight we had pizza. Sorry, the tree fell on it 2 days after they leave. Wait, can a hedge tear a roof off if it hits hard enough? Travis wants a cup of hot chocolate, my love.
Me too.
Oh, I too.
Oh, Yanai wants one also. He doesn't think he'd be able to squeeze it through the computer. You could try.
With
Okay, just
bread
go hurt my
and
feelings.
butter.
What'd you say, Bet? With bread and butter? Blech. I can't.
What?
So she has this thing, and it's not just a her thing. Apparently, it's a Puerto Rican thing that they take bread with butter on it, and then they end up dipping it into the hot chocolate.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. That was my look the first time I saw it done. And I
Ew.
still have not brought myself to try it because I'm like, I just cannot wrap my head around how those flavors mix together. I cannot. Maybe, yeah, no, I can't.
I mean, I'll dip like bread and butter into like cream of chicken soup or something, but not hot chocolate.
Okay. I'm here. Let me explain to you this. So in Puerto Rico, when it's hurricane season, people go to the stores and they stock up with canned food and everything, right? But the first thing they stock with is bread, like home fresh made bread
Mm.
and chocolate to do the hot chocolate. And that's the thing. When the hurricane is there, everybody's prepping their hot chocolate and then prepping the bread. And they dip in the bread in chocolate. The others dip the bread on coffee. But I'm not a coffee person, but I like my bread with the chocolate.
Okay, but Rob, that's the part I can do. I can handle the bread or croissants or whatever with it. It's the butter on it as well that I just.
He cannot handle.
If I put a funnel on the roof with a hole in the ceiling and it fills with water and freezes, will that be nature? Not me. Just take,
Make the edges a little jagged on that hole.
yeah,
so
just so
that
it doesn't look perfect. Unless you take out one of the vent covers. If you take out one of the vent covers, it'll be a perfectly 14-inch square hole.
That would definitely let a lot of rain in.
Water. Yeah, exactly. Butter is nothing but cream, so chocolate with cream. Rob's like,
I mean, I see it. I mean, I get it, and
Rob's like, I would answer that, but Yanai was shouted us.
It's okay. No more than she shouts in my ear.
What are you talking about me?
Nothing. Rob did it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Rob on the road did it. I didn't do it.
I plead the fifth.
I'm innocent for once.
Just saying.
First time in my life. Maybe.
Rob's like, also, hey, Yanai, I love you.
I love you too.
You say that now, but you didn't see what Rob said beforehand.
What he said before.
Well, see what had happened was you said all that stuff and it's talking about the butter stuff and everything, and Rob goes, I would answer that, but you and I will shout at us.
Answer what?
I guess the stuff about the flavors and the mixing the stuff together and everything else.
Well, it's just it is.
You temper chocolate with warm butter.
Like the butter.
But the butter.
I know, that's why it's like, on one hand, I see it. I understand, you melting the butter with it and everything else at some point, yes. But it's that fresh butter on it that I don't know.
That's the good part there.
I think maybe it's more of a texture item probably than really an actual flavoring,
But it's not like you're putting gobs of butter. It's going to melt.
It's going to melt, yeah.
Some of them put gobs of butter on their bread and then dip it. So the butter is not melted by the time you actually take a bite.
Well, in my bread.
Just saying.
What is it? Chocolate. So apparently, I don't know how familiar you are with the Jimmy Hoffa story. Jimmy Hoffa. Okay. I read an article today that the Detroit FBI field office and the Newark, New Jersey FBI field office were once again given a lead onto where Mr. Hoffa may be. This guy supposedly gave this lead on his deathbed back in the middle of October. So
another one of those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So on the 25th, they came over to Jersey City's what? How far from us?
Oh, I don't know. 20 minutes.
20 minutes, 25 minutes. Under the Pulaski Skyway to where he's supposedly in a steel drum under the Pulaski Skyway, buried with 15 to 30 other steel drums in an old landfill. So they got a hold of a ground-penetrating radar and went over the spot that in the landfill where he's supposedly buried with the rest of these barrels. And they found the barrels that this guy was talking about. Now they have to dig all this stuff up, dig all these barrels up, and go through them all and see if he's in any of them. Good old Jersey. You know a guy who knows a guy.
And who always doesn't say shit till he's dying anyway.
Yeah, the FBI have found some dirt they haven't dug up yet, accidentally. Yep.
And then half of those good ones end up being where they have to go and bust through all the concrete that just conveniently that year got laid for foundation for a new store.
Well, for a while there, they thought he was buried under Giant Stadium, or the old Giant Stadium, I should say. But I don't know. They're going to dig up all these barrels in this old landfill. It's not even a landfill anymore. Nuclear waste.
Yeah, and there's been a couple that actually the stores were complete, and they had all of a sudden there was photos that got put out afterwards of them digging a hole with the jackhammer and everything in the middle of this convenience store.
Oh yeah, they said he was buried under a driveway, under a swimming pool. Some farm out in Michigan or something, and
They dug out the whole farm.
yeah. But supposedly they found this guy they say he was a credible lead. So far, everything that he has said has been panning out. So, I don't know.
And Jim, of course, they can't find their own tail with a road map and GPS because they're still using MapQuest.
Yeah, right. A Columbo episode like that. Yeah. So, this case has been open since 1975, and they're still keeping it open. And the thing that, they have to take a look at every lead and follow every single one. So, So
Yeah,
Bruce is going to go to
it's
bed.
gotten more attention than so many other cold cases that other folks have gone back, and that's one of the things that kills me. Is like there's so many other cold cases out there that don't get the same amount of attention, but yet when you finally have somebody come along who does choose to look into it, a week later and boom, they suddenly have found the body that's been missing for 15, 16 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, you've
Night,
got
Bruce.
a case that has regular 40 hours a week by at least one man person every week dedicated to it, and they still can't find him.
Right. For the past 50 years. I don't know. But, it's. They said the last time they saw him was outside of a restaurant in Michigan.
Yep.
But he had ties to a mob boss here in Jersey. So, guy who knows a guy. It's a Jersey thing. What can I say? Gotta love it. Every once in a while, something like this will pop up when somebody gets a new lead.
Yeah.
Makes living in Jersey interesting.
It really makes anywhere interesting because it really does make you think about it. What's going on out there. Some of them you think they just kind of keep them around just so that they can have excuses to keep higher budgets.
Yeah.
Things that they know aren't going to ever be solved because, hey, he's already in the freezer in the back. They're just not telling you. They just chase the leads down for looks.
Like I said, I mean, there's been so many places where people say that he's been, under Giant Stadium, under a swimming pool, in a farm field in Michigan.
Yeah, Jim, where were you that night?
Right? He was what? You weren't even.
Don't say you were down the street underneath the street light because that street light was broken.
He graduated high school in '75, so.
Oh yeah, he was definitely down there underneath the street light. Mm-hmm.
He might have been under the Pulaski Skyway. What can I say? Dirt shoveling class.
Uh-huh.
Is it right?
No, that was in the body chopping class.
Body chopping class.
Yeah. Didn't you go to that one? It was right next door to the woodwork.
Oh.
Where you made the coffins at.
There you go. Which was next to Auto
3-foot pine box.
I think the old gangster just wanted one more laugh before he cashed in his chips. Well, that's the whole thing. This mob boss that's connected to this whole thing had passed away in 2008, I think the article said. And this other guy was like an associate of his. This guy that gave all this information. So if they actually find those barrels, there's going to be one body in every can.
Yeah. Or at least it'll just be their fillings and their jewelry and stuff because the vat of acid couldn't eat that stuff up.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. One person says it was a vat of acid. The other guy says it was full of concrete. It's like the guy in this article said that they couldn't put him in feet first for whatever reason, so they had to put him in head first. I don't know. He probably ran off to like the Caribbean or something.
I mean, but at this point, this many years later, though, who needs closure? I mean, honestly, it's
Yeah.
knowing after this many years isn't going to do anything really for anybody directly in the family.
Yeah, it's just gonna. I mean, how many? I don't even know how many relatives he's got that are still alive.
Son and daughter,
Son and daughter.
about no, we don't.
I mean, it's kind of also at that point where it's like, yeah, after this long, isn't it more than likely it's going to hurt more than actually allow closure?
Nah.
Because every time there's another lead, it just drags it out again.
Mm-hmm.
It brings it right back up.
I think they were saying that it's one of the longest. I mean, you can't even say it's a cold case because it's still open, but for the lack of a better term, it's one of the longest cold cases that they've had ongoing in history.
Yeah.
I can't even find the article anymore, otherwise I would read it, but it showed up on my Google News feed this afternoon. Or Facebook, one or the other. Can't remember now. I think it's all Rob's fault, anyway. I'm just going to
I
blame
agree.
it on Rob.
I can agree with that. Oh, look, I froze again. And I don't even know why. This doesn't make any sense.
Just
Wonder how
'cause-
long I can hold that pose.
Oh, here it is. I found it. 45 years. 45 years search for Jimmy Hoffa's body leads FBI to New Jersey landfill below an elevated highway. The decades-long odyssey to find the remains of former Teamsters boss Jimmy Hoffa apparently has turned to a former New Jersey landfill that sits below an elevated highway. The FBI obtained a search warrant to conduct a site survey underneath the Pulaski Skyway. On October 25th and 26th, FBI personnel from the Newark and Detroit field offices completed the survey, and that data is currently being analyzed. She didn't indicate whether anything was removed. He was last seen July 30th, 1975. Blah, blah, blah. The latest effort appears to be tied to interviews given by a man named Frank Coppola, who was a teenager in the 70s and said that he worked at the old landfill in Jersey City with his father. And he said that his dying father explained in 2008 how Hoffa's body was delivered to the landfill, placed in a drum, and buried with other barrels, bricks, and dirt.
Now, I'm pretty sure Siri's lying about that, Rob. Siri knows where he is.
Siri knows. So does Alexa.
Yeah. They're the original mob bosses. Oh, wait. We're not supposed to talk about that. They're listening. Always.
Yeah.
And then that's that moment you just go ahead and click on Google and you see what randomly pops up based upon what you were talking about.
Right? Exactly.
What random stories do you have for me today?
Yep. Some Tesla drivers report being locked out during server outage. Jeez. Can't get my car.
Just love this. Small sprouts around tree trunks known as suckers can be a sign of stress. think small sprouts anywhere around any of my trunks is a stress.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will get 4 new balloons.
You know, I want to actually try to. We want to try to maybe next year we'll make it there for it.
What?
Macy's Parade.
Yeah. I wanted to.
You can go to the city and see them. Actually, you can go. How long is it before that? The night before, you can actually go to the city and watch them blow all the balloons up and stuff like that. Oh, we lost Travis. Oh well.
Yeah, he was frozen.
We lost Travis. There we are.
Yeah, I got tired of watching myself frozen on the melon side, so I had to refresh the screen.
Oh, hi, Daryl. Whatever she said.
Right?
You just have to learn Spanish, don't you? That's all.
For some reason it doesn't work. It doesn't. Does it, babe?
Does it what?
Exactly.
Just say yes, you know.
Okay, yes.
Oh, I should have set that one up a little bit better.
Yeah, you can actually
out of that one.
You can actually go the day before the parade and watch them blow the balloons up and get all the floats ready and stuff.
But yeah, that's our thing. Is that after Branson next year, she wants to go ahead and head up to spend the holidays up in the New York area.
Just the only thing that I can tell you is that you will probably have to park. There's a RV campground at Liberty State Park where the Statue of Liberty is. It's just a parking lot with electric and stuff, and take the train into the city because you're not gonna want to drive. Ferry, I'm sorry.
Oh, I want to do it. I want to just for the fun of it. I want to whatever outskirts of it I can. Obviously not through main strips, but take the RV down some main strips and have like footage of the kids hanging their heads out and we made it.
We're driving down Broadway in our RV. What the hell am I doing?
But like, go live, do a live stream. But like, I don't know why all these people are honking at me. I'm just trying to go down the street.
Meanwhile, you're getting cut off by taxis and all kinds of good stuff.
All of a sudden, a cop rides up on top of the horse and right beside because they'd be the right height for the drivers and goes, "What are you doing, sir?" I will very quickly. I don't know. I just followed the GPS.
Sneak into
Programmed
the parade.
in something. Programmed in an address in that I just intentionally kept ignoring, so that way when it comes up, all of a sudden it's just going rerouting.
Recalculate.
Like, see, it can't even tell me how to get out.
The GPS will have a very hard time working in the city from all the big buildings and stuff. If you get a signal at all, you'll be lucky.
Yeah.
Or you could just sneak the RV into the Thanksgiving Day Parade and decorate it a little bit, and nobody'd be the wiser. Although with security nowadays in the city, you wouldn't make it like 10 feet without having a swarm of cops on them.
Yeah, that might get a little interesting.
Texas man drives RV in Thanksgiving Day Parade. Film at 11.
With our logo and everything on the outside of the RV.
Maybe we get subscribers.
We could get some massive subscribers off of that. Think about all the viewers.
There you go.
The millions of people that will see Dream on Wheels.
That's a good idea, baby.
Oh, we could probably all of a sudden have more subscribers than Nomadic Fanatic and KYD and Changing Lane and all of them combined.
Combined, yeah, exactly. He'll have like
We'll
5
start.
million.
Next thing you know, suddenly our subscribers counts will start like competing with Mr. Beast or some shit.
Exactly. We'll have 5 million subscribers overnight. YouTube would be like sending him like 4 buttons in the mail.
They're going to be questioning it, and I'm going to tell them, just watch the footage.
Yeah.
Just watch the footage. Well, what footage? You don't have a video up. Not my footage. The national news footage.
Yeah, exactly. I will even put it up for you to watch.
Here, let me send you the link. Send them a link to 15 different TV stations covering something.
247, 245, 79, 11. You know. News
Like
12,
we
New
were
Jersey.
covered by every network in every state across the country. Matter of fact, there were even folks in China talking about us.
You can put a lawn chair on the roof. That's a good idea.
Sonja, don't give him ideas.
Why would I do such a thing?
No, we're gonna put a rocking chair on the roof. Put grandma over here on the roof.
Grandma.
Did you just call me grandma? You're gonna sleep with outside.
She's going to start cursing at you in Spanish.
Don't hurt my feelings none.
You don't understand her anyway.
Yeah,
Those ones I do. Those ones I do.
He'll be going, okay, babe, whatever.
It's the extra stuff you put in with it I don't.
Wife unsurprised as Texas man arrested for driving RV in Thanksgiving Day parade. Now, what kind of trouble did Travis get into now?
The funny things is to turn around and be towing the expedition behind it and have sold sponsorships to get decals put all over the expedition and get other RVers to pay us to get their logos and stuff put on the expedition bay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna put it under as this is for the bail bondsman's fee for when Travis gets arrested.
Here's my PayPal link.
But like, sir, this was premeditated. No, sir, these are all of our friends. You know, you ever heard of sticker swaps? Well, we've rented out space on our expedition because we're driving all over the country. These are for our other RV friends.
Oh god. He would just be surrounded by SWAT.
And what's worse is what would probably be worse is they just stand there and just like, Joe, did you just see that? I don't think we should call this one in. They would never believe it.
Quick, Mike, subscribe to our channel.
Have wording on the side of the RV says, make sure you ring the bell.
Right.
Subscribe, ring the bell.
Travis have a live stream going at the same time.
Yes. and talk the whole way like I'm lost. I can't get out of here. The GPS isn't helping me. There's nobody directing traffic. The only folks directing traffic put me in line with all these floats. Meanwhile, you see, you can have it because the camera will be facing in on us as well as out. Do both cameras up. You see Kanai and Dammy and Yanai running around the rig trying to create decorations and hanging them out the windows.
Hurry up, we gotta fit in. Hurry up.
Look natural.
Look like you belong here. Rob's like, have you ever felt like
Really,
the grown-up
Rob?
at the kiddie table? That would be funny.
Rob just wants to know if Jim feels that way because Rob never will feel that way.
Mm. Rob should be like
That would be hilarious.
Rob should be happier than a pig in poop right now because he's not at work. Just saying. Monday night he was at work. He wasn't very happy. That's why everybody went in the corner. He has rage. He needs an intervention.
No, we're beyond intervention for Rob. We're just straight to an exorcism now.
Exorcism.
There's a demon in that child. A demon, I tell you. A demon.
Be like The Exorcist. With the holy water.
That would be fun, though. There's never been an RV in that parade. There's been fire trucks, but no RVs.
Mm-mm.
So I know we could fit. Hey, we could decorate the RV up as a fire truck and they would never notice. Honey, a new direction for our channel. We have to get a hold of an old fire truck, but not too old, because we need one that we can actually gut the inside of it out like a bus down through the tank and everything. Build an RV inside of that fire truck.
I bet nobody's ever done that before.
Oh, I know it's never been done. But that would work. Drive around as a fire truck. People would never question wherever you park. You could boondock wherever you... Dude, this is really a solid idea if we want to get rid of the kids.
Fire truck.
You would never get the knock in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
And if you don't touch anything on the outside of it.
Oh yeah, you might want to. You can go to Ellis Island while you're there. You can see the Statue of Liberty.
And they would just wave you right through every lane.
That's it.
Leave the horn, but disable the lights. That way you can't get in trouble for making use of the lights. They'll be like, oh, you turn on the lights. I'm like, look, you know which switch it is, right? It doesn't.
Impersonating a fireman.
have the lights like turn on like a strobe light or something that's inside the rig, not outside. You know?
Right.
I'm like, this is the TV.
This is for my interior lights. Now Travis is going to go shopping for an old fire truck.
Yeah, I need a fire truck fund now.
Set up a GoFundMe page for.
I'm gonna have to redirect all super chats to be a fire truck fund. This is gonna be like the longest 3-year investment ever, because first got to be able to buy the fire truck.
Yeah, right. First, you got to find one to buy.
That's not too old.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there is. That would be. It would have to be a barn find or something.
Well, I mean, we'd remove like all the fire station emblems and all that stuff, so we wouldn't get called in. You know, it's gonna look like a fire truck, but there'll be no wording to it. Truly make it look decommissioned.
Township of Travis Fire Department. Oh,
The funny thing is, like the way that our logo wraps around anyway.
Mm.
Just put our everywhere where there's that fire station arch wording and everything. Just replace it with the logo.
People be like, "Where's Travis Township at?"
It's Jersey.
Just blame it on Jersey. It's fine.
Set it up for YTville.
YTville.
That'll work.
Okay, I need you to get out of the live stream because you're getting ideas. And I don't want to end in jail.
Not my fault.
Why would we end up in jail? Not
It was-
impersonating. I mean, now if we were to dress up ourselves, left it fully, labels and tags on the outside, that would be impersonating.
Right.
I mean, if you can drive a decommissioned police car still as the white and black with the spotlight still on it, with the light mount even still on it, but
No lights.
red and blue's disabled, then why can't I drive a fire truck with its lights disabled and decals removed? Why not?
Right.
I mean, they do decommission them at some point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at the one that was at M21, the fire engine that the owner.
Well, that was a what? A
49.
42 or something like that.
I think it was a 49 or something like that.
49.
That was a sweet shape though.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hard part would be, gutting it and converting the insides. That would be the hard part.
Yeah, how would you do that?
Considering not.
Does the cab and the back, do they go through, or are they two separate pieces?
Depends on how old it is. Some of them, it's just there's a cab, and then there's all that stuff, and it just basically bolts onto the frame, and you pull the body bolts, and stuff comes off. But the new one, it is.
Yeah, because you would have to find something that was one solid body that.
Or it's one that's if it's not a solid body, where it's a small enough of a gap that you can seal that off, weld in something to seal it.
Yeah. Hey Arnie, how are you? I mean, because the cab isn't going to give you adequate living space.
Oh no, you would have to gut the back and pull all those pumps out of the back and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. It comes with plenty of storage space built onto the outside.
Exactly. You get a pumper or a ladder truck. A ladder truck would be your best bet because they're the biggest.
Yeah, but definitely would have to take the ladder off. I don't need that thing accidentally going up as I'm going over an underpass.
Yeah, I never.
Or I could see it now. I'm just driving down the road, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, Yanai's got the ladder out, hanging out the back end, and I'm like, what the heck?
Hey, Roy and Becky. How are you? We're talking about converting a fire engine into a motorhome. I think you should keep the ladder on there just in case you have somebody that gets in trouble. They need.
No, because then we would definitely get called on. Or if we kept the ladder on, it would only be like the first segment. All the other extensions would be taken off.
Yeah.
So that way, when we get into a park, you raise up the, if there's the clearance from the trees, you raise up the ladder, and on it has your Wi-Fi extenders, your satellite dish, your cell boosters, all of that, your flag, all of that's attached to that, to where when you're able to stand it up, you stand it up, and you're 30 feet above everybody else.
Roy's like, thanks YouTube for letting us know our buddy was on 3 hours later. 3 hours? He literally just got a notification 3 hours.
There have been some that with someone like Call Me V's, or her ones that she does in the mornings, it'll be that night before we get the notification that'll come through.
Oh my God. Roy just said they got it just now. Wow.
That's because Roy and Becky was everywhere else playing around. They were everywhere I was earlier too.
Ooh, Roy, Travis just called you out.
They was live stream hopping like me. There was.
We've been around. We've been around. So he actually may have gotten a notification earlier. He just finally made his way here. No, he stopped. Because.
At some point, you got to stop to go for dinner.
Stop and go for dinner.
Or you just had dinner delivered and ate it earlier.
No, it just came, he says. I don't have anything that I
Sure.
Oh, she's
excuse me. I'm sorry, it's 10:30. I'm old.
That means you're old too, baby. The same.
Wow.
She just said you're old.
It's nothing wrong
You
with
know,
that.
Sonia's older than me, you know.
Exactly. Hey,
I like
Lillian,
it.
how are you?
So just because she's old doesn't mean I'm old.
You're old, baby.
I don't normally start yawning at this time of night, though. Mine's
Yeah.
normally not till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's been horrible here. Like since we've been back, we've not been going to bed normal.
That's because you
We
got
will
so much.
find ourselves still. Yeah, it's like mine's are racing with everything that there is, and we've been finding ourselves several times still up. And I'll suddenly look over and go, "Oh shit, I've got to get to bed because I got to be up in an hour and a half
Oof.
or 2 hours or whatever, you know."
Yeah, because you're thinking about, oh, maybe I can get rid of this. You lay down, you're like, all right, I'm done for the night, and then you open your eyes, you're like, oh, I gotta move this. I gotta get rid of that. I gotta.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bad.
who was it? K&R did it last year. Last year, 2 years ago. Last year.
It was last year.
Yeah. And they went through the same thing.
Yeah, because it was when we were on the road. Shoot, it was 9, 10 o'clock at night. We were ready. We could go to bed if we'd wanted to.
But remember, baby, the rhythm down outside was different. We
I know.
were going
I know.
all day. Here is all different.
I know. We did go all day long on the road.
Roy just noticed the Facebook notification came hours ago on the phone. See? See?
Wait, Facebook notification. I didn't get that one.
Oh.
Now that one I can claim I didn't get.
You only did 3 months. You did what, the summer on the road this year?
Yeah, we just did the 3 months for now.
Yeah. What'd you do? Just all the meetups?
Pretty much, and then just some extra stuff as well in between them. So it was just trying to get out, get to some places. And because also when we originally made the plans, it was, we weren't going full time, but we had this opportunity. We were going to go out. So it was that, okay, we're going out. We're going to all these that we can, that we will have been able to meet everybody that we can. Because after that, we're just going to be part-timers who go out here and there and see folks here and there, you know?
Right.
So that's why we planned it packed full all over the place.
Mm.
Yeah. If I'd known we were going to be going full time as easily, we probably would not have packed as much stuff into it and would have like slowly made our way out along something and then worked our way back. You know, been out just as long, but probably not gone near as many miles.
Right. Roy
So
thought
that's
you were
okay.
already behind.
We got out. We seen a whole bunch, you know, and found out and discovered a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you know, we're trying to figure out making it to where we're planning on already being up in Michigan long before the meetup, because we want to actually be in Mackinac for Labor Day to walk the bridge.
Oh, okay.
So
Roy's like, I bet you learned a lot too.
yeah, so
We learned a lot just doing that little trip that we did from here to Michigan to Vermont and back home again, you know?
yeah, a lot of people thought we were already full-time, Roy, just, you know, because of how long we were out, but also the fact that, you know, prior to that even, you know, it was renovations, and then we're out of here. You know, when we were talking about all of that, a lot of the part that this was only a small trip went in and out one side and the other because there was so much that went into it to get it ready.
Yeah.
And yeah, we definitely learned a lot. And, you know, the biggest one that I actually learned on a lot of the stuff was just that I needed to listen to my gut and things that I knew in general more than some of the folks that are supposed to be master mechanics, because we spent thousands doing repairs and chasing down issues that it was something that was a $300 part that I could have had ordered here and had it actually meet us, because the way it worked out, it could have met us before we ever went up to Amana. Or the first time right at the very beginning, or had it meet us in Amana, and we would have been smooth sailing after that point. But granted, a lot of the other stuff that we did, no, actually, we had time to have gotten it here before we even left, because we had a couple weeks before we left when we did the things we did. But the things we changed out, they were going. They weren't bad, but they were going. And I'm choosing to look at it as it was preventative maintenance, so I don't have to worry about it now.
Yeah. Lillian says, tell Yanai hello.
Who?
Lillian Tittle.
Oh, hi, Lillian.
There you go. No, Roy, because we don't actually own our house. We're renting. And that's part of the other reason why we're excited to hit the roads, because our oldest and her boyfriend are going to take over the house.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're still going to be helping them some, but that's because we're going to, instead of paying for a storage unit for our extra stuff that we aren't ready to fully get rid of yet, that we'll have put up in the attic and the garage and stuff. But, instead of paying for a storage unit, we're going to
just leave it here,
contribute and help them take care of some rent stuff. So.
And you can keep whatever you're not going to use there instead of, like you said, paying for a unit. You can just.
Right. Yeah, because there's like some of the things they won't be packed up, because like a lot of the kitchen stuff, it's just like, okay, here, you have it. Well, you use it for now, and we'll discuss whether you get to have it later.
Right.
But it is what it is, and but it's still at that same time we're trying to make sure that we want to be reduced down enough and packed up enough to where while we're out on the road on this next leg, if something were to suddenly happen and they both decided to, nope, to hell with it, we don't want the house no more, we don't want to do this, we want to do that, we want to go out and do something instead, all of our stuff is packed up to where we can either just have somebody, we can hire somebody, because it'll be cheaper at that point than crossing thousands of miles, to just hire somebody to come over, grab all of our stuff and put it into a storage unit, or tell the kids, look, okay, that's fine, but you got to get our stuff to the storage unit. You go rent you a U-Haul, load it up, take it to the storage unit, because it's already packed up.
Right.
We are literally packing ourselves up as if we are moving out, but it'll be here. And on one hand, it'll feel a little bit better because it's here versus sitting in a storage unit somewhere.
Right. And you don't know what'll happen to it if it gets broken into or whatever.
Yeah.
And when are you looking to go back on the road then? How long are you going to be there for?
So we are looking to be out because we're going to be going to the Quartzsite meetup, to Box Van D's Quartzsite meetup. So that's the weekend of the 22nd of January. So we're planning on being out of here before then.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to take the slow road to China, getting there. We're probably going to take a week to get there, so we're not rushing it, because we want to see a lot of the stuff on the ways. Because that's a lot of the thing, is that we are not going to be, whereas we had all those meetups crunched into a small time, with this time for this next year, which most of it is planned out meetup wise, we're just going to take our time getting from one to the next.
Right.
After Quartzsite, we're headed out to California. After that point, because I've never gotten to make it that far out. Once we get past Texas, anything past that point headed out, I've never been that far. As well, I've been to Vegas, but that was a fly in and fly back out. So I don't really count it.
Night, Robin.
But it's, with the rest of it, it's just, we're going to go out, like Mobang. He had said when we talked about possibly headed west after Quartzsite, because we'll already be that far. He was like, well, you just come into my house. You're coming to my house. So we kind of got kidnapped to go to Mobang's after Quartzsite, because he only lives like a half a block from the parking lots of Disneyland. One of their outer parking lots. So it's like really close, really easy, and we can be able to safely have the rig there and go check off Disneyland as a bucket list. That's one of the bucket list items, because I never got to go as a kid. My folks never had the money for us to go.
Okay.
And there was a couple times that other people said they would cover it and everything else for me to go with the church group or whatever, but my mom didn't feel right doing it, so I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things that we want to go. Our son that's with us, his thing is he wants to go because he wants to go build a lightsaber. Well, that's a couple $100 in itself, but you can only do it there.
Yeah.
For one of those ones. So it's like, okay, we'll go spend a couple days, knock that off the list, and then after that, it's like really slow. We're spending a couple months, like in Southern California. We're gonna spend a couple months.
So you're looking to leave like shortly after the New Year, then?
Yep, that's the plan. That is the plan.
Cindy, who are you loving now? Hey, Kevin, what's going on? How are you? Why aren't you in? Oh, because it's Friday. Never mind. I was going to say, why isn't he in bed? Never mind, it's Friday.
Oh, Roy, the funny thing is, it's funny that you say that because we had a case, because we love to use Sam's. And so one of their cases of the rolls got loaded into the RV when we left home, and we came back home with plenty still left over after 3 months. The toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we have like a cabinet in the RV. At that cabinet, that's all it's used for is paper products.
Right.
And which on one hand it seems like, oh my God, why? Because there's that storage space can be split up between a couple other different things too. But it's like, yeah, but that's one less item you don't have to worry about.
Erica! Hey, Erica, how are you?
Sup, Kevin? No, our big thing though is we were going to try to have solar in time to go out, but it's not timing out.
I was just going to ask you that if you had solar or not.
No, because we have an onboard generator, and that could run us just fine, but probably what we're going to try to do instead, because really the only thing that we have to have the power for during the day and stuff is just making sure that I have power for work and the kids have power for their school stuff.
Right.
So we're probably actually looking into, instead of spending a whole lot of time and everything on solar, since we actually do have the generator, is probably going to just look into getting one of those like the Blue Eddy or Jackery or something like that. Probably get the 1,000-watt version of it so that it definitely holds long enough of a charge. Plus, most of those 1,000-watt ones come with a solar panel to go with it for helping to recharge it.
Okay.
And then it should be able to get charged enough to counteract what we're using out of it, on top of what we get out of the house batteries and everything from the RV.
Yeah.
That's already on board.
I just got out of work and had to run to Walmart. The things that nightmares are made of at 10:30 at night.
Ooh. Yeah, I've got a rule. I don't go to Walmart late at night. Mm-mm.
You never know.
Not unless I'm blindfolded.
How
Not unless I'm blindfolded.
long are you gonna spend out in Quartzsite?
Probably just the week.
Yeah.
More than likely. We'll see. But that's, because we'll be between the back and forth through the areas. We'll be back through there again at some point, but with everything that we're doing, because we got to do the Quartzsite. We're doing the Quartzsite meetup, then headed out to California for a while, and then we were supposed to come out back over to Louisiana in April, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that one, because then after that, then we're supposed to turn around and be back out in Oregon by June.
It's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I know. That's why that one's an iffy one, a real iffy one. But we'll see what happens. Who knows? Everything may change once we get out there.
Yeah.
and funds will depend upon it, you know, because I mean that's one of the biggest thing though with going to California. Um, we got a couple of them that are out that are helping us figure out and plan some of the things that we're going to do to where we can keep our costs down, especially considering that the two kids that'll be with us are basically considered adults everywhere they go because they're both over 14. And when you look at places where they do adult charge, child charge, you know, they're pretty much always in the adult range.
Right.
You know, so it's, you know, we'll be looking at things that it's not going to cost us any, you know, little if anything at all to do. It's going to be the big key for us. And travel slow.
Have you founded a online school for them yet?
Oh yeah, they've been in this whole past time while we were on the road. They were, we've actually got them in with the national K-12 program, and they are partnered up with. They pretty much have partners in every state, and they have school districts in every state. So they are actually technically the school that their teachers are out of Hallsville, Texas, and they already know. Like while we were on the road, you know, the kids' teachers were asking them, "So where are you at today? So where are you at today?" Like they know, like kids talk about it that they're traveling the country and everything else.
Okay.
The only thing is that if there is state testing that is required for them to be in the state for or anything like that in an actual facility here, we have to come back for that. But so far, we've not been told of anything. Nothing's been announced. And also with us maintaining our domicile here, technically, while they are in the grades that they are in, state testing is actually not a 100% mandated item. It's a mandatory, but you can actually say, no, I'm sorry, I refuse to do that. My child does not have to take that until they get like up to the higher levels where it's a federal type required test. Yeah, Roy, I have heard of them. A couple people have actually mentioned them to me, as a matter of fact. And when we reached out to them, because I did actually try to reach out to them. The first time I didn't get a response, and I messaged them again. But so far with the quotes or whatever that they were throwing to me, we're still well above $5,000. I don't know if maybe I talked to the wrong person or whatever, but that's just, you know, that's funds that unfortunately we don't have to put into solar right now. We got,
how many panels?
well, I mean, we need probably at least an 800-watt system, no less, you know, considering you got me working remotely, doing stuff remotely, both kids doing stuff remotely, you know, just to make sure that we take care of everything. But
yeah,
I mean, the good thing is like, you know, what's in it right now is a 3-way fridge. So, I mean, that's the one good thing is because it's, you know, we run it mostly off the propane to help reduce the strain on that side. The same thing with our hot water. It's propane as well. And the propane tank lasts us several weeks. And it was only like $40 to fill it, and it lasted us all together, you know, several weeks. So
you got a 30-gallon on board, right?
Yeah.
It's usually what they come with.
Yep. Yeah, and we've switched over. We've already changed over. All of interior lights are all LED. Replaced every last one of them. All the basement lights are all LEDs now. Headlights, tail lights, all been switched to LEDs. The running lights and everything are all LEDs. You know, that was one of the things during all the renovations. I went through and switched everything over to the LEDs. Dash lights have been switched over to LEDs. Just to also help reduce the strain on all of that. The alternator, upgraded the alternator. It's like, what was it, 250 amp alternator in there now.
And the LEDs hardly consume any power, so.
Yeah. Yeah, the only things we don't have, the only thing we don't have in there yet is like, the TV, the TVs that are in there. I would like to, at some point, I want to get them switched over to being a 12-volt system TV versus the AC side. Just also reduce the amount of power they need.
Yeah, I have a 12-volt TV in the new camper.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of the newer ones that they've got, and the pictures are really good. On some of the older ones I'd seen, when I first got it, I didn't ever switch any of them over because the ones I had in there, because the pictures sucked.
Oh yeah,
the pictures on those 12 volts TVs sucked on the ones that I originally saw, but now they're like really, really, really good. So it's like, okay, picture quality is really good. I could live with that now.
yeah. This one's pretty decent too. We had it on for to test it out. The one because we literally had the camper used it a day before we had to winterize, but the TV was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and Roy, that's really the big thing right there is that the panels are cheap, but it's the battery side of it, because like right now we only have 300 amp hours of batteries because we've got 3 100 amp hour batteries, but really it's actually less than that we have because they're AGMs.
Right.
But it's the batteries and the the inverter and everything, and the getting it wired in and getting it set up, because I could figure it out. I could make it all happen. But the hard part for us is, like, right now, the battery box, it's right up by the door, up at the front of the rig. Meanwhile, all the electrical boxes, transfer switches, cases, converter, and everything is all at the back of the rig, back near the shore power hookup, underneath our bed. But the batteries are all at the front. But the thing is, like, we've been told, when you start running a solar system, you want everything closer. You want your batteries closer to where your main system is going to be, and it's like there's a whole lot of stuff that's got to get moved, rethought on how to run the wires, where to run the wires, how to actually mount the stuff to the roof without having any problems. That I don't know how to do. I could probably figure it out, like I have everything else that we've done and changed on it. But I get a little bit leery on it.
Yeah, because you have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
I've seen instances and plenty of videos, even where the stuff has been wired the wrong way, and then either something doesn't work or you get a fire or something like that.
Yeah, and it's one of those. It's like if I could be hands on with somebody that really knows what they're doing and how to do them, to walk with me through my rig to say, okay, here's where you need to put this, here's where you're going to make this work, and here's where you can make this work, and this is the way you need to run this and this. After that, I'd be good. But it's a whole nother thing watching all these videos and everybody else doing theirs on their rigs, when the videos that we see aren't 100% detailed.
Right.
And they don't 100% match my rig.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a lot of similarities, but there's some projects that you see somebody else do with their rig that if it's involving a system that you don't really know, it can get really dicey.
Yeah.
Get really dicey.
And it's definitely something that you're not going to get done in one day either.
Butcher, surprisingly enough, there are not actually very many videos about my rig out there.
Really?
Surprisingly enough, even as old as our rig is, there is actually not that many YouTube videos about my rig. And I think a lot of it has to do with, by the time anybody was really doing YouTube, people weren't really in my rig anymore.
Oh, okay.
Mine's a 99. And it's more of those videos are on things that are older than that or newer than that.
Yeah.
And our rig was apparently it's while there was quite a few of them, it wasn't a hugely popular thing. So I mean, there have been a couple bloggers out there that have very similar chassis setup, So a lot of the things I've been able to follow the things that they've had to do with theirs, just because the chassis that was used on theirs was identical to mine. But when you start then getting into the house side of the rig, it becomes a huge difference.
Wow, Roy's got 1,200 watts of solar now. And that's true. Like, I used to work at Harbor Freight, and those solar kits, whether it was, the four, 100-watt panel, the big box ones, down to the suitcase, we sold a ton of them.
Yeah, see,
And
that's what we thought about doing, just to be like basically a boxed kit, was to get either one of those kits off of Harbor Freight or one of the Renogy sets that's done through Walmart.com, because it's cheaper to get the Renogy kit, like the 800-watt Renogy kit through Walmart.com, than it is to get it directly from Renogy.
yeah,
It's like $300 cheaper, surprisingly. And
I worked at Harbor Freight for 2.5 years, and you see a lot of things. You get to learn, what comes back a lot, what gets warranted a lot, like, and the solar kits were the one things that never came back. Nobody
really,
ever had a problem with them. Nobody ever had to exchange them for warranty. They were never returned. They left
yeah,
the store and they stayed out of the store.
yeah. And that's part of I think one of the other things is like right now with everything that we've got to get done before we actually leave here, I don't really have the time. I'm not confident. I'm not comfortable doing it because I don't know solar systems, DC systems really that well. To
New Horizons.
have the time to install it myself between now and then. Whereas, if I go out and just get one of the Bluettis or Jackeries or something, one of those, whatever, with their little things to hold us for now until we can get out there and then take the funds and be in an area somewhere where somebody else is going to be at the same time that knows what they're doing, or knows enough to be able to walk me through it all before I go buy the stuff and then just, do it myself. Because that's our biggest holdback, is that we want more solar to be able to have more boondocking abilities. Just so that way we don't have to worry about it when it comes to work and school. It's just that, it's time for work, or it's time for school, got to pull over.
Yeah.
And really it's just it's time for work, got to pull over. School doesn't matter. They can still do their school stuff while we're going down the road.
Right. You have to find somewhere you have to plan where you're going to stop for your work time.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to be, that's, where that you can be for 8 hours without getting disturbed, so you can work,
Yeah.
So, there's a lot involved in it. I mean, I got lucky with this new camper. It came with solar, so I don't have to worry about it.
But yeah, like the biggest thing, that several folks have actually told me is the fact that for us with the solar is our breaker boxes, all those panels and everything are back there underneath our bed, but yet our battery box compartment is all the way up at the front of the rig.
Yeah.
And that if we ran it that way, we're not, and the way it is, just, with that location, we're not actually going to get the same amount of power and draw out of it, and it won't charge as fast and as efficiently that way versus if we were to move the batteries to the back or add additional batteries that were in the back while the others were maybe up front, but I don't know. And so far, unfortunately, on our travels, we have not been able to meet up with somebody yet that really knows those systems. So, and the worst part is my next door neighbor, he's a master electrician, but he doesn't do DC. He's a residential household. So he has no clue about solar systems when it comes to those.
Hey, RV living life, how are you? They just installed a 425-watt panels today with Victron controller. That should work well for us at Quartzsite this year. It's actually pretty simple to set up. And Ernie has 500-watt inverter, thinking of getting panels and a controller just to have backup for emergencies.
Yeah, and that's part of the other reason why I went to solar systems, because everything, at the know what I like is backups on backups on backups. Yeah, we have the onboard generator, but what if we're in a situation where either they don't allow the generators to run, or it doesn't really do you any good to be running the generators? It's like if I'm driving down the road and the kids are trying to, do all their stuff, and she's trying to do stuff as well, or going down the road, and it becomes too much of a power draw for what the alternator's putting out. Well, then I have to kind of kick on the generator and run the generator while we're driving down the road, just so there's definitely enough power going on. And I don't like doing that.
Yeah, because it feeds out of your gas tank, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it feeds out of the same exact gas tank. Now, once the gas gets down to quarter tank, it will no longer feed the generator. It only becomes only for the RV itself, but
There are lots of videos out there on solar installation. Ours is coming out soon. What time is it?
11?
it's only 11.
11:01.
11.
Yeah, it's only 11.
Here is 10, baby.
Honey, she's not here. She was asking what time it was. So I told, because I got my brain works quick enough, I told her what the time was based for her. Because if I would have said 10, she'd have been, no, it's not.
It was
I know it's later than
9:45, like 3 minutes ago. At least it felt that way, anyway.
And, or like there are a lot of videos out there on those solar installations. And the thing is most of those videos out there that I've found that are of any kind of quality on helping show me some of the stuff are all still using much higher end equipment than I can afford to use right now. So I'm having to, I have to looking at more at the budget side of things and how to still do it safely, but as efficient as I can for the amount of funds that we can actually put to it.
Right, put into it, yeah.
But I also always want to keep in mind that whenever I do it, that I'm knowing that at some point I'm wanting to upgrade the things and change things out, so it's one of the things that I don't and can't or don't want to skimp on is whatever wiring I'm running, because I don't want to have to redo the wiring. It's one thing to upgrade batteries down the road. It's another to upgrade an inverter down the road or upgrade a controller down the road, because then you're just plugging and playing with whatever may be there. But, so there's certain parts that, I know that for the expandability later, I don't, I want to keep that in mind as well, because, like I've already told her, I said at some point, I have all the measurements on the roof of our rig, literally every last measurement on the roof of the rig, to where, to be able to okay, I want this whole thing at some point full,
Yeah. I know from watching videos of people being out in Quartzsite, and I'm sure Roy can help me out on this. From watching Roy and Becky's videos of them driving around out there, there was a guy, I think Roy said he may have passed away, or I don't. There was a solar place right on the main drag out there in Quartzsite. I don't know if it was in town or on one of the main roads. There was I think it was called Discount Solar or something that they do out there.
And that's the other thing. A lot of folks, a bunch of folks have been telling me is, well, just leave earlier and get out there earlier. That's what they live, eat, and breathe out there is solar. So don't even stress about it till you get out there, because you're gonna for sure run into somebody out there that will either be able to walk you through exactly what you need to do and how to do it for your rig, or be able to find somebody that's able to help you do it within the budget to help you get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the name of the place was Discount Solar, if I remember correctly. Don't buy anything solar in Quartzsite. It's way overpriced. Oh yeah, because they know that they can get people to buy it, so they're going to jack the prices up. The basic system is 2 wires from the battery to the solar controller, 2 wires from the controller to the panel. None of it connects to your breaker panel.
Oh yeah, there's a Discount Solar there in Quartzsite.
Yeah, that's what I thought the name of it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, starting off with the Harbor Freight kits is not a bad way to go. They're, I don't want to say they're cheap. I hate saying that, but they're inexpensive and they work. I've never had any issues with them. You can buy a warranty with them if you want. That's exchangeable to any Harbor Freight. Let me correct that. A basic system is 2 wires from battery to the controller, 2 wires controller to the panel. None of it connects to your breaker panel.
Well, if it doesn't connect to my breaker panel, then how am I pulling power out of it? Because at some point that's got to connect into a inverter to then get connected over into my breaker system, to where I can then feed power to some of my items off of it. Right now, there is no solar on our rig. If there was already solar on our rig, I would just be looking at what's there and expanding. What is there now is just house batteries that are fed from a generator, an onboard generator.
Your panel draws from the batteries. Your panels charge the batteries. Kevin and his pepper pizza. Your breaker panel does not directly draw from the solar panels.
Well, I know it didn't draw directly from the solar panels, but it's drawing around in the way everything connects in. Now, I wish it already had some kind of solar on it, because then it really would just be upgrading whatever's components are there to get us where we need to be.
Yeah.
And tying into lines that are already running, or run parallel to whatever lines are there in order to upgrade it.
Kevin draws on paper.
See, and here I thought all he did was draw in the snow.
Oh, he doodles, Our 110 doesn't work unless we're plugged in. We don't have that box installed yet. Not sure if we need it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I know I need to have an inverter in it to where I can tie at least a couple things in to be able to make use of.
Yeah, because you need the outlets for charging stuff.
Yeah, because of the computers, I'm going to need some of the outlets at least tied in. Now, see, Kevin, I heard you also put in some brown in the snow.
Ooh.
What? I said he draws in the snow, and he said only yellow. He gave me this look like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, if you were in the chat, you would know, young lady.
Uh-oh. Them sound
Instead,
like
you're over there
fighting words.
crankety crank doing your yarning.
I'm like, yeah, what is that noise? I thought it was like, hey, Vin, hey, Paula, how are you? I thought it was like, a dog's tail hitting something or what. I was like, what?
Not the. Yeah,
What?
not on your big head.
It's
Not
made
on
for your
your-
big head, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
Baby.
I was going to stretch it out.
So cute. In pink.
He looks like a genie. Nyin, 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 nyin.
I need to put on my coconuts and put on my hula hoop.
Oh no. Give me my thing.
All right, Roy and Becky, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I didn't get a screenshot of it.
Where's Lance when you need him? He's quick fire snip.
Bing, 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 bing. My knitting machine comes tomorrow, so I can crank right along with you and I.
Susan,
Right?
Susan, I'm always a goofy person. Just saying. Sometimes I get too goofy. And then Paula yells at me.
Why would they yell at you? That's horrible.
So, Susan, are you really getting one of those cranky things like what? Oh my God,
Cranky things. Cranky.
Jim, other Jim, if you were anywhere near Susan at the moment and you hear me, I am so sorry, sir. I am so sorry. You thought Tucker and Abby were annoying.
Hey, Greg.
Wait till the crankety crank starts.
I just FaceTime people taking the dog to the potty.
Yeah. There's nothing like answering a FaceTime late at night from Susan, and it's nothing but a black screen at first, and then all of a sudden you start seeing lights and things, and you go, oh my God, what am I about to see? You get really afraid. And then you just realize it's just the dog shitting.
It's a dog shitting. Which nobody really wants to see that anyway. Right? Paula's home warm now.
That's going to drive Tucker nuts.
Yeah, I know. So
Ice cube. She's like wrapped up.
like this.
Bad was in there like a short sleeve
Shirt, like it wasn't cold.
Yeah, she was making me feel like they had the doors open and the cold was just blowing through the house and everything.
Right? She had a hat on and
I was feeling cold down here just watching them.
15 layers of clothes and a scarf and
Oh wait, 15 layers of clothes. That's how she travels when she flies.
What do you have for batteries?
3 100 amp hour AGMs. They're all brand new. Well, brand new 5
Ish.
months ago.
Ish. Brand new ish.
Yeah. What's up, Greg? What you doing, buddy?
Should ask Kevin if he's got anything to say about M22 or the captive audience.
Kevin, do you have anything to input about M22 that you want to add? Even though I'm sure you'd make a video, but
Well, he's a captive.
Honestly, are we living? I actually don't know just how much I can pull off of them because I have not let them go down below 50%. I really haven't like fully tested just how many hours I get out of them. I know, I mean, we get the kids' school stuff, my work stuff, because I've got a normal, just one of the stupid little inverters that I hook onto it if we're stopped somewhere to run, to where they can do their school stuff, and we just plug an extension cord into the inverter. It's a 1500 watt inverter that we plug into them, and it gets them through the school day and me through the work day. But you know, just how many hours I can pull off of them doing that, I don't know. I honestly don't. But they are tied in only onto the DC side of the panel. So anything that's DC in the rig will run off of them. Heck, I changed out the 3 ceiling 14-inch the ceiling vents. Instead of just the bathroom being the only one that had the exhaust fan on it, I actually went out and got 3 of the Hinks dual direction ones, and I put one in each one of the vents so I can create airflow whichever direction I need it to run in the RV. And we've actually turned those on, like came out when we were doing the renovations, went out, turned them on in the morning to help with the airflow while we were working in there because it was hot. Ended up closing down for the night, forgetting to turn them off, came back out the next morning. They were still running, and then ran them the whole rest of the next day. But that's 12-volt vent fans that were supposed to be, you know, off the DC side.
yeah.
You know, so I mean, I know they've got quite a bit of length to them, just depending upon what's running off of them. No, right now the 110 plugs are not live unless we are into shore power, because there is no inverter in line in the system. But all the interior lights are all run off that DC side. Those vent fans run off the DC side. Power side, to make sure that the fridge stays running, runs off that DC side. But that's all that's on it. That's all that's actually tied into it. There is no and there is one DC electrical outlet that's up in the cabinet where it was supposed to have been, like where it was set up for like an RV satellite dish or whatever to be plugged up, you know, in the one cabinet right where the cable hookups are. But otherwise, there's no the TVs aren't run on the DC side. None of the 110s are live. So.
Yeah, right. Well, I think I am going to shut this down.
Fine.
Sorry, my eyes are starting to get tired. I can't see the chat anymore.
Oh, I didn't know you actually watched the chat.
Oh, yeah. Some people ran their generators all day and night out at Quartzsite last year. We just used our generator during the day and ran off the batteries at night.
And you know, I wouldn't have a problem running my generator all day and night. if it was diesel.
Hey,
So
yeah,
therefore, it's more efficient than my gasoline-powered one,
exactly.
which is the other big reason why I want to get some kind of solar to hold us on the other times, because it would be one thing to kick on my generator for a couple hours and boost the hell out of the house batteries for whatever the solar system did not do, just to make sure we were good through the night or something. That'd be one thing, kicking on for a couple hours here and there. It's a whole nother when you're running it all day and all night. That's not happening. I ain't got it. I'm not retired with crap loads of investments feeding me every month. So yeah, Susan, he's also, he's a diesel though.
Yeah, he's a diesel.
Yeah, he said he ran his like the whole 9 days straight. Basically, ran his. But he's diesel, so it didn't really hurt him bad.
Thank you, RV Living Life. We will look out for that video. Appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I wish I
everybody-
had that to sink into that RV living.
yeah. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Travis, hope you had fun. Thanks for stopping in. Look at the pouty face.
Gotta hurry up and remove it before you suddenly snip something.
And I'll be live again tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. We're going to play some Dirty Minds. Should be fun. The world's cleanest dirty game. So
It just
come check
feels
that out.
dirty, playing Dirty Minds
It
in the
don't.
daylight.
Oh. Well, there's a first for everything.
Who said it's a first?
Tata? Oh, he said Tata. I'm like, Tata? Tata?
Look
Oh,
at
wait,
you,
Tata.
already getting dirty. Look at you, already getting dirty. He's saying ta-ta for now, and you got your brain somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the help, RV Living. Absolutely appreciate the help and the information.
It's got to be Kevin. Yep. All right. We will see you soon. Travis, thanks for hanging out.
Later.
Check it out tomorrow, 1 o'clock. If you want, check it out. We're going to play some Dirty Minds. And everybody have a great night.